You're listening to the Pillaging Podcast, companion podcast to PillagingJustForFun.com. That's PJ4F.com, the only Raider fan site made by Raider fans for Raider fans. Tune in every week wherever podcasts are found. Call in and leave a message to be played on air at 408-909-PJFF. This episode brought to you by Creative Media Design Studio. Check them out at CreativeMediaMonterey.com. It's time to pillage another podcast. I'm your host, Kenny Stapler, and I like waffle fries. What's cracking, Shay?
Hey, they're pretty good, man. Waffle fries are pretty good,
right?
I like the seasoned curly fries. You know, a little bit of garlic fries. I like to switch it up.
Garlic fries on hit, curly fries on hit. My problem with waffle fries is they don't stay hot long enough.
Yeah, and then they have a tendency to get stuck to each other.
They do.
They have a tendency to get, and then you're like, oh, and then they're no longer waffle fries.
You got to eat them doubled up like that.
Yeah. Once they're stuck, you just leave them like that.
It's like a menage a trois of fries in your mouth, of fried food. That's the raw right there. I like also when the potato chip bends over itself.
Okay, the little curl, the
wave chip.
Well, that's the perfect dipping chip.
That is.
Because you get the scoop, whatever, it just holds it in there. Man.
That's it.
This is the holder right there.
I want a whole bag of those.
Yeah.
If a company started making those, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad.
Just a bunch of. Well, I mean, didn't Tostitos try to come up with the scoops?
Yeah.
They kind of made it, but it was kind of like a little shell.
Yeah, it's the shell, and then you got all these high ridges.
Yeah.
And then cut your damn mouth up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It should be shaped like a little taco.
This is true.
So you can go sideways.
Yeah, man. Give me that taco shell.
That's it.
Give me that taco shell.
That's the one right there. Tortilla, taco shell, chips.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
We might have to make that.
We should not have recorded this.
Look out for the pillaging chip.
It's
coming to a stadium near you.
Pirate chips.
Hey.
You like that? Hey. They're shaped like a taco shell to hold your bounty, your treasure of salsa or onion dip. Or
we'll have to look into the history of Mexican pirates.
What's your favorite non-salsa dip?
Non-salsa dip?
Yeah.
Guac.
Guacamole. I would technically consider that a salsa.
I mean, I guess you can. I guess you could call it a salsa. But I mean, it's a little bit of both, right?
Yeah.
But if we're gonna eliminate those,
yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and say, you know what? I'm a fan of the onion dip. I like onion, man.
Yeah,
the onion tastes good.
French onion dip. Ruffles chips.
Yeah. French onion dip. What did I have the other day? Oh, you know what? You know what else is pretty good? But you usually use like bread with this. Is the artichoke.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Fire. Since I'm on that.
Was it artichoke and jalapeno?
Yeah, artichoke, jalapeno.
Yeah.
Spinach, artichoke, jalapeno.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Since I'm low carb, I dip with the radish or the cucumber.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, no chips, but you're getting the dip anyways.
Yeah, I'm getting that crunch, and I'm not a big fan of celery. Just not a big fan of it.
You know what, though? I do like some celery sticks and some carrot sticks with my chicken wings.
Ooh.
And a little bit of bread.
Yeah.
And then that blue cheese.
Yeah, blue cheese.
There you
key.
go.
Not ranch.
There you go. No.
Yeah. Cloud just fell over the studio right now. Did you see that?
It got a little dark.
Yeah.
If you can't see us, sorry, y'all.
We're getting that coastal cover coming in from Santa Cruz right over the hill. It's nice out right now, man. For summertime, it's like 68 degrees.
Yeah.
So, it's chill.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm wearing a hoodie in the studio.
Yes, you are. It's a beautiful hoodie, by the way.
Thank you very much. Got this. Those
repping as well.
Those on the stream. I got this at the Raider Image on clearance right now.
Oh, they got some clearance items out there?
$20.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shut up, man. I'm going to have to go out there.
Yeah.
You know what? That's when you're supposed to buy sweaters and jackets, though.
Right now.
In the summer, bro.
Yeah.
When I was in San Diego, we used to hit up them outlets in the summer all the time. I used to go to Puma. I used to go to Adidas. And I would cop all my track jackets in the summer. Wouldn't wear them until the winter came around. But tell me how many track jackets I got, man. I got like 10, 15 track jackets, man.
You got a lot.
Yeah.
It's that the Puerto Rican suit, right? it's the Puerto Rican business suit.
There you go.
Tom Plunkett's on the chat saying guac is not a salsa. Let me make my argument because I get that. Technically, it's not.
Don't piss people off, man. It's too early in the podcast.
But it is blended. It does have lime or lemon juice in it. It does have onions and tomatoes in it.
You're making great points right now.
And it's made entirely out of fresh produce.
And sometimes you'll throw in a little jalapeno or a little serrano chili in there.
Yeah.
spice.
Preferably.
Yeah.
So it's made out of fresh produce. It's technically kind of a salsa. And they do have guacamole salsa.
They do. They do.
So,
and there's also salsa with little bits of avocado in it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Aguacate.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's get into this, bro. Let's get into it. Happy early Father's Day, by the way.
Same to you, my brother.
And happy belated birthday, bro.
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Appreciate it.
It was your birthday Wednesday, correct?
Birthday was Wednesday, and I got, like I said, man, if you guys are on Twitter, I got a lot of love, so I appreciate all the tweets. I was running out of memes, man. I kept throwing memes at people, thanking them, and then I was like, man, I better just make a all-in-one meme right now.
You're the meme master for us. Before we do get started, I want to remind folks to subscribe to YouTube and click on the little bell so you're notified when we go live. We're live right now. You can always watch the live streams back. I've gotten some comments, some emails from folks telling me that it's a completely different experience, worth checking out. Obviously, the produced version of the podcast available wherever podcasts are found, or you can just download the app. Some folks are having trouble with Stitcher. I like Stitcher. I listen to all my podcasts on Stitcher, but I have had buffering issues on the app occasionally.
Right.
And you might lose an entire episode for like a couple days until like the cache refreshes or something in the app. But you won't have that problem on the Pillaging app.
That's right.
Available on iOS or Android, and I've had success searching for it, just PJ4F, and it pops up. Because I tagged that bitch really well. I tagged it up. Also, make sure you go to pj4f.com/shop. I'm always mentioning in the intro that Creative Media Monterey is our sponsor. They're the ones that make our T-shirts for free. You pay for them. They get the money. We get our name on a shirt. Everybody benefits. It's $20, free shipping. Pretty clean. And they're printing that thing just for you. Everything's made to order and then shipped out by our boy Steve over there.
Yeah.
And we're going to get them on the air. It's going to be a very interesting podcast.
Okay.
Because I used to do an old podcast called the Drink Tank Podcast.
That's right.
And we're gonna kind of run that back.
Okay.
And we're gonna do a Drink Tank version of the Pillaging Podcast.
Sounds like a plan to me.
It's gonna be wild.
Let's make sure there's let's allot plenty of time to recover afterwards, man.
Yeah, that might be a Saturday show. You know what? That might happen on or around my birthday. I'm thinking right there in preseason. My birthday's August 20th, so
yeah,
it's a good time to toast and have a few cocktails.
Hell yeah!
I don't drink often, but when I do.
Hey, damn. Speaking of the Dos Equis guy.
Oh, he's doing tequila now.
He's doing tequila.
Yeah.
I saw that the other day. I was like, I told you I don't always drink Dos Equis. Yo, no, he said, I don't always drink beer, right? I told you I don't always drink beer.
The new Dos Equis guy's lame, though.
He is lame, man. When they switched him, I was like, who the hell's this guy?
Yeah, he's dropping things in the Dos Equis. He's real sleazy. He's dropping little fizzies in there. He's real shady, bro. I don't trust that dude. But yeah, also just want to give a shout out. I haven't given a shout out in a while. Out of Pocket Sports Network is the network we're on. Make sure you check them out. They got a few shows on there. Our sister show, obviously, Just Win Ladies on their second episode.
Yeah.
I did a little guest spot over there. So check them out.
They're
still trying to find their legs a little bit, but they're doing a good job.
And let's throw out a little early happy birthday to Jenny over there.
Oh, yeah.
Her birthday's coming up on Tuesday.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jenny. I didn't even know. Thanks for putting me up on that. Yeah. And make sure you check out the Out of Pocket Sports Network. And then IE Sports Radio, too, is another good network out there. Our friends Phil Jones and Phil Robinson, they do their show over there. So lots of content to go around. I always plug the other podcast, so I'll leave that. Right now, we're working on a crossover episode with Black Hole Banter. I was hollering at your boy Q this week, and so we're trying to set that up and do a crossover. We don't know if that's going to be on our show or their show, if it's just going to be the same show posted on both. Who knows?
Hey.
But
however it works, man, I'm sure it'll
be cool.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
So let's launch into this, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Gary and Conley was held out the final 2 days of minicamp due to a groin injury. We're told not to be concerned as Conley was a rapid riser during OTAs, and this is only precautionary. He's coming along quick. No need to rush him along any further.
Exactly.
Good with that?
I'm good with it, man. I'm good with it.
Eddie Vanderdoes, however, has missed all offseason activities as he continues to recover from his ACL injury. Best wishes to you, Eddie. Again, we don't want to rush that along.
No, and there's no reason for that.
No.
Right? We have plenty of depth right now. For the first time in a long time, we have a lot of depth at the D-line. So there's no need to rush this guy back and force another injury that could be even, long-term. There's no point in that.
Well put.
Yeah.
Well put. I'm sure he's absorbing all the philosophy of the scheme. I'm sure
That's it, man. Just get smarter, man. Get smarter.
Do that cerebral work. You know what I mean? Also missing from camp was Marcus Gilchrist with a hamstring and Nick Nelson out with a meniscus tear, I believe.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So it's not good.
That's not good.
We need Nelson in there. Haven't heard a whole lot as far as nickelback contenders. That's the one position I haven't really heard anything about.
Right.
You know. Derek Carr has been a major standout in camp. Not only is his passing crisp and sharp, but he has seemingly taken everything Gruden has given him in stride. Reports are that he has absorbed the system quickly, and his mental capacity is really on display.
Yes, and Gannon said much of that. Said much of the same, right? He was impressed with Derek, the way that he's taken, to Gruden's offense, and he's picking things up so quickly. Yeah, man, those are all good things to hear, man. It's what we expected with Gruden being here. So I'm looking forward to this season.
Yeah.
From Derek Carr and from Gruden, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that's the most exciting thing, right? Everyone's really looking forward to.
Hell yeah.
Ryan Switzer, he's been getting the majority of reps over Roberts. Looks to be, at this point, a lock for that number 4 spot. Unless, of course, Martavis Bryant drops off.
Right.
Then he would likely move up to 3, and you got Roberts at your 4.
Right.
Not a whole lot to say about Martavis right now. Details are very unclear. I was also told the less we talk about this, the faster it goes away.
Right. So let's everybody just shut the hell up.
Yeah. Everybody just peep down.
Hey, chill out.
Just pipe down. Little birdie told me that. Just, don't mention it. Out of sight, out of mind. Everyone's talking about nothing's happened yet. There's no specifics. That's a good thing.
Yep.
Because if it was dramatic, it would be swift and fast. That's the last we're going to say about
this. This is true. Okay, it's over with.
It's over.
All right.
Carl Joseph, my man KJ, he's been around the ball more than anyone in camp.
That's right. I seen the pictures, man. Ball hawking, man.
Ball hawking.
Yeah.
He's there at the tackle, point of contact, just swarming to the ball. Team Metrics says he's been at the point of contact more than anybody else in camp. That's a great sign.
Yeah.
Gruden had commented about him being involved in mismatches last year, said, hey, it's the NFL. That's going to be unavoidable at times, but we're going to do our best to basically keep him out of harm's way.
Yeah.
So, very reassuring. Glad to see Carl Joseph is coming along.
Yes.
Another safety in the mix with Gilchrist being out. Eric Harris making the most of his snaps at safety, and he's a rising star.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
Dude was a special team stud last year. John Gruden loves him some special team studs.
Yep.
And Eric Harris is really showing off his value right now.
There we go, man. The more the merrier. The more the merrier, man.
Everybody on board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone improving. Everybody improve.
Everybody in the pool.
There you go. It's warm. Everybody in.
Rich Gannon was at practice.
Yes, he was. I already mentioned that. Yes, he was.
Someone had asked us how we felt about this, and how could you not be excited about this, for one? But the fact that when he was offered the job early on, he was honest enough to be like, I don't have the time. I already know what Gruden's going to demand.
Yep.
And from what we've seen from reports, is he's the same guy. So that's exciting. But the fact that Gannon did find time to come out,
right,
and get in where he can fit in.
Yep.
That's great, man.
Hey, man, it goes to show you how much Gannon cares about the team.
Yeah.
Because the selfish side of him would have said, oh, yeah, I'll take the job, but not knowing that he could not commit himself fully to it, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that he said, no, it would be best for the team if I didn't commit myself to that, because I can't commit myself that way. The way that it's needed, right?
Yeah.
That just goes to show you how much he cares about the silver and black, how much he cares about us becoming what we used to be, becoming successful again, winning again, right? That's what Gannon wants. And man, if he's coming in like this and he's, coming as a guest every now and then, we can still gain a lot of knowledge from him, man.
I fucks with that.
Yeah, I fucks with that too.
There's a lot of people hate on Gannon because of how critical he is of the team.
But dude, that's like us, bro. That's like us, man. We're critical of the team too. We love the team, man. So it hurts us to see the team not do well. So yeah, we're gonna be real fucking critical. So you're really gonna get mad at him? It's coming from a place of love. He loves the team so much that he's pissed. He's pissed off.
How you gonna be uber critical of a man because he's being uber critical? That's hypocritical.
That's hypocritical. There's a lot of cool.
It's a lot of critics. My only criticism is, why you living in Minnesota, dog? You telling me you weren't cashing checks? You couldn't settle down in California? Now, Minnesota's actually
he's probably not going to move out here now. It's more expensive to live out here than it was when he was out here.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I've
Good luck with that.
been to Minnesota a couple times. They didn't stay long, mostly airport stuff.
Yeah.
But it's pretty nice out there.
My boy lives down in Minnesota.
For real?
Yeah.
What's he got to say about it?
It's cold as fuck.
Yeah. Hey, I was real disappointed the Vikings didn't build an outdoor stadium, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just stack up and do it. The Bears do it. The Packers do it. Everybody else in your division does it. Well, the Lions don't do it, but that's for safety reasons.
Right.
Straight up. Somebody might just catch a stray bullet in that bitch. I don't know.
We didn't have to go there, but we went there.
I'm just saying. It's a state of emergency right now in Detroit. I'm not going to get political.
Let's leave it alone.
I got love for Detroit, though.
There you go. Hell yeah.
Somebody help them out, man. Yeah, man, that's the quick hits. We actually did get through them quite quick because we're probably going to talk about some of this stuff later on in the show.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a long show. We got Rory Anderson, Holistic Pickle on Twitter.
Yeah.
We've talked about it. We've talked about the name. He might reset that take, but he's going to come on. He's going to break down financials for us. We told you we'd have him back after free agency settled down, after the draft, to kind of make sense of all of this. And also, in the midst of this Mac holdout, is a really good time for that. And actually, you know what? Let me say one thing about that.
Let's say something.
Because I went and opened my damn mouth on Twitter, and people were blasting me on Twitter and on Reddit and on my own damn website criticizing my quote-unquote sources. Let me just tell you this. I got one source, and it's a damn good source.
Yeah.
I can't tell you who the source is.
Yeah. Because then you lose the source.
But I'm not that dude on Twitter every other week just saying sources.
Right.
Rumblings.
Right.
So when I say it, I'm really saying it.
Yeah, because you believe it. You're not coming with something that you're just throwing out there just to cause some ruckus, man.
Yeah. Someone's all, how am I going to believe a guy that only has 1,000 followers on Twitter?
Right.
Is that where we're at now? It's your boy, Kenny Stapler. You can trust me.
I saw something. Oh, all of a sudden someone got sources.
Where do you think this information comes from? Man, it's a cruel world. It's a cruel world out there.
It is, man.
The man that broke the Gruden news is now unemployed. That's how cruel this world is.
Hey, this is true, man. Shit.
He also blundered sources with Marshawn Lynch, but that's our boy. You know what I mean?
Hey, yeah.
Shout out to Scott, man. I'm sad to see what happened to him. I don't know behind the scenes. I'm not going to speculate. We're not here to talk about it.
That's right.
But what I heard
is
that Mac will not be signing an extension this offseason.
Hey.
That's what I heard.
That's what you heard.
And nothing's happening. You're not hearing any rumors around that right now. A few people retweeted it out to Levi Damien, out to Vic Tafer, out to Schneidman, and none of those guys replied.
Right.
Either they just, I'm not going to waste my time with this, or
they just don't want to put their name out there too. They don't want to get that, right? Like,
yeah,
they don't want people firing at them too.
Or maybe they're just told not to say anything.
Right.
Which
that too.
Also likely. But who am I? That's why I decided I'm going to slither up in there. I'm just going to just drop this for you guys because you guys have been asking us.
This is true.
How are you going to ask us every week, and then when I give you an answer, you're going to be mad about it? How's that?
Hey, we're trying to give you what you want, man.
So I know it's unbelievable. I kind of like, whoa, I can't believe I have this dude's email address. And, a friend of mine confirmed it who also was in connection with that. And it's just, I can't tell you how this is, but it's a personal connection. It's very roundabout. It's not because of media or my credentials that I don't have. It's none of that.
Right.
It's really a who you know thing, and I just kind of lucked out. I know some good people, and that's what it is right now.
Yeah.
And I've gotten these scoops before. I say nothing, and I just sit back and see, and it ends up being true. Y'all didn't believe me about the Jack Del Rio situation either, and that ended up being exactly what we thought it was.
Yep.
So, I hope it's not true, man.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it is. And just kind of like give you the lay of the land on that. If you look over at what's happening in L.A., Aaron Donald has not shown up to offseason activities either.
Right.
Aaron Donald's holding out.
And Clowney.
And Clowney's holding out. It's a three-way standoff right now. Now, I'd say Clowney is probably the lesser of those three.
And he has to sign first. But until he does, the other two ain't gonna budge, man. And that's what everybody needs to understand, because everybody's getting really impatient and is like, what the hell are the Raiders doing? Sign this guy already, throw the money, whatever he wants. But we don't even know what he wants yet, because it hasn't been established, because the guy that's below him hasn't put his rate out there yet.
Right.
So as soon as Clowney goes, then one of the other two is gonna go. Khalil Mack is the best out of the three.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in that.
Yeah.
So he's going to be the last to go, people.
Yeah.
So you can't be mad at the fact that everyone's just waiting.
Yeah.
It's wait and see right now. Like, that's unfortunate, but that's the way it is.
So if July 16th comes and goes, which is right around the corner right now, then we're in a situation where it's possible this isn't getting done.
Right.
And we'll talk to Rory about that, because he knows the dates and all that stuff. But you've been asking questions. This isn't a scoop. This is just an assumption right now. Just make that clear.
Yeah.
That there's been a generous offer given to Mack. Look, this organization loves Khalil Mack. The fans love Khalil Mack. The players love Khalil Mack. Derek Carr is his homie.
Hell yeah.
Khalil Mack wants to be here. This isn't him being selfish sitting out. This is his agent saying, stay put. We're going to get you the best deal possible. Why? Because it sets a precedent going forward. This is a domino effect.
Yeah.
These are very important moves as it relates to the future of the league. You saw it happen with Derek Carr. He got this big contract. People were freaking out.
Right.
A couple months later, it's a bargain contract.
Right.
And that's the steps that have to be taken. And so you don't want, so let's say the Raiders are like, this is a handsome offer. You'll be hands down the highest paid defender in the league. And then Aaron Donald's agent comes in with the old Price is Right tactic and bids $1 more.
Exactly.
And then,
and that's exactly what they're avoiding, right? You got to avoid that. If your client, okay, let's say your agent, let's play agent right now.
Yeah.
Your client is the best defensive player in the league. There's two other guys that are holding out. You're going to just tell your guy, you know what, take that offer.
Yeah.
No, you're going to be like, let's wait and see what these other guys are going to take and what's being offered to them, because if you're the best, then you should be paid like the best, right?
That's it.
That's just what it is, man. That's just economics, yo.
Yeah. Ice Cold Honky's telling me that my source is an ex-ball boy now working at Wendy's. Hey, Honky puts goat's milk in his sweet tea. Honky's cooking meth up with Mountain Dew right now.
Oh no! Don't do that, Honky. Don't do that, Honky.
No.
Wait, Honky, man, you gotta go. He just sitting there in the living room, just milking him. It goes directly from the goat into the sweet tea.
But as I'm also being asked if he's going to miss the season if the other guys don't sign. No, Mac's not going to hold out the season. That's going to hurt him going forward if he does that. That's not going to happen. But let's go ahead and move on from the Mac thing.
Let's do that.
It is what it is right now.
Painful. It's painful to talk about.
It's painful. It's a three-way holdout right now. It's a standoff. Everyone's pointing a gun at each other. You ever seen the end of Reservoir Dogs?
Yes.
That's where we're at right now.
Yep, that's where we are. So. That's it. That's it. Man, that's great. That's a great visual. Yeah.
It is and it is.
Visual comparison in terms of like that's pretty fucking dead on. Not in terms of like what the result is.
Right. Who's the one lying bloody on the floor though? That's my question.
Yeah.
Ice Cold Honky is. That's the answer. Hey yo. In a battle of wits, you are greatly unarmed, Honky. Name checks out. All right, Joe. I think that's quick hits. Anything you want to converse about?
No, man. No. I don't. I mean, hey, I'm like everybody else, man. We're all just waiting. We're all just waiting for this season to start.
Yeah.
We're all anxious. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's just all stay together. Let's not beat up on each other when people throw something out there. Okay. Hey. Take it as it goes. That's it. That's my advice. Take it as it goes.
Ice Cold Honky's source is greatly unknown. Can you
for sweet tea or goat's milk?
Oh, Fernandez, why you got to do me like that? So I'm looking at the chat right now on YouTube, and these guys are slamming. My source is the dude selling Jamarcus Russell figures for $75 on eBay.
Yo, I posted I retweeted that with a comment, and I don't know if you saw it. And I was like, yo, Like they're offering you $75 to haul that bitch off, man.
So we're referring to a tweet I put out. So he's trying to diss me with the dank tweet that I blessed y'all with on a Friday when y'all were just staring at the clock trying to get out of your job.
That's true.
You know, I'm trying to make life better for you at this point. And he also says it's 1-1 tied Dodgers Giants right now, top of the fifth. Thanks. Good looking out, Fernandez.
Okay. We did win that yesterday.
You did, yeah.
Hopefully we get that again.
NL West is crazy right now. We were in first just last week.
It's up and down, man.
Now we're 4.5 games out of first, sitting in third behind you guys in second. So it's exciting for the NL West.
It's good.
It's a bad division, but for us fans, it's exciting.
Yeah.
NL West fans, I mean. This is not a baseball show. People will be like, God, this is the last thing I want to talk about is baseball. So I told Rory we'd be having him on at 8. It is now 6:45. We are early. I didn't expect to be this far ahead. So we're going to get off the air right now. I'm going to try to chase down Rory and see what's good. Maybe he's ready to go.
Okay.
Cool?
Sounds good.
All right, brother. We're back on the air right now with Rory Anderson from the Raider Ramble now.
Yeah.
Welcome to the team, Rory.
Yeah. All of a sudden I'm legit. You know, I'm working with the Ramble, so that's been good. We've had Mario let me bring on my little, my shtick, what I call the Vegas archive, so that's kind of fun. So just kind of carried it over, and that's what we're doing there on the Ramble. It's fun stuff. Yeah, I can't wait for the season to get ramped up. It'll make more sense.
Your word count and my word count very high.
Yes.
We were issued caps this week on word count. We can no longer go over 800 words. I think my last article was somewhere around 1,500.
Yeah. I have a tendency to when the editors see that I have one up, it's like, ugh. That tends to be the reaction. So.
But we're good writers, so hopefully the editing staff is just like, you know, not having to do a whole lot of heavy lifting there. But I appreciate your writing, and so does everyone else. Tell these folks how they can find you on the interwebs.
At holistic_pickle. That's where you'll find me on the Twitter. That's pretty much where I do all my damage, is on Twitter. So I pretty much kind of left my own little website that I was doing. I kind of left that in the dust when I'm writing for the Ramble, so there's really not much going up there. So pretty much the Twitter, and that's about it.
All right, Holistic Pickle. He's a heavy hitter on there. He's definitely punching above his weight. And that's a lot for super heavy.
I don't know. I'm a pretty big guy. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big guy with a lot of weight. So I don't know how much heavier I can punch above.
Throwing haymakers.
I'd be like punching it like the Big Show or something, you know?
Before I really got to know you, I would put things on Twitter and be like, I really hope Rory doesn't disagree with me because I'm not ready for that battle.
All we got to do is someone's got to bring up Obi Melifonwu and it's on like Donkey Kong.
Oh, I know. That's
right?
That's your
pretty
trigger.
much it.
That's your trigger.
Yeah.
So we're glad that you're out of the clink on the last show. You were being tailed by cops. You were zigging and zagging, hitting back roads. You had that 5-star rating. And it sounds to me like you escaped the popo. Is that correct?
Yeah, I made it out unscathed. It was quite brutal. A lot of damage done around the city. May have had innocent lives lost. Don't really know. I didn't care to check.
Collateral
but
damage.
Yeah, I made it out alive. Yeah, exactly.
Rory tossing the Molotovs out the sunroof of his '86 Honda Civic. Savage, dog.
Something like that. I actually had someone else going with me, and they were firing the rocket launcher out the sunroof too. And we were out of Molotovs. It was wild.
It was that co-op. There was that co-op mode.
Yes.
So let's get down to brass tacks here. This is going to be a beefy segment, beef supreme, a double-decker taco of a segment. But before we get started, maybe you can help with this, Rory, because I know like us, you're an eater too. I said hot take at the beginning of the segment that guacamole is an extended member of the salsa family. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Ooh, that's actually very interesting.
Extended member.
Is it more similar to Is it more similar to a salsa or a sour cream? That's the question.
Well,
is it a salsa or is it a full-blown condiment?
Well, I'll tell you this. There's no dairy in guacamole. And it's
very true.
It's made out of blended fresh produce. So that's my argument.
Sometimes, but some people do to put a little sour cream in it.
Oh, okay.
They do like to put a little sour cream in it. Some people. I like mine more fresh.
That's racist when you say some people.
I said some people, man. It's not racist. Some people.
You people.
Some
people.
I didn't say you people. I said some people.
Don't put mayo.
Well, I spent 9 months working at a taqueria, and I guess I'll say it's probably an extended salsa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead, it's part of the salsa family.
It's extended. Yeah. Give me that. Thank you, Rory. I had to give you all the facts. I kind of felt like
I said, it's totally legit because I worked at taqueria for 9 months.
It's true.
That means that is the word of God.
I feel like I kind of led you to that answer, but my tactics are unmatched.
But, maybe, but it made sense. Your line of thinking made sense.
Yeah.
All right.
You backed it up.
I'd buy it.
You backed it up.
I'm glad we settled that.
Yeah.
So I only have a few questions for you because I feel like the answers are going to be quite extensive. So we're going to stay simple. I'm going to let you kind of get complicated because you're going to set the table for us. You're going to clear a lot of things up. We had you on prior to the first wave of free agency and prior to the draft, and now we said we'd bring you on after all that settled down. That's where we're at right now. What needs remain on this roster in your opinion? Where are the holes at? If that second wave of kind of like the garbage free agency, the cast-offs, is there somebody that we can pick up? Can we pick someone up? What's the remaining hole on this roster?
Well, it's funny. So last time I was on, it was all about, so many people in Raider Nation was freaked out that the Raiders were literally going to do nothing in free agency. So I come on and I explain, hey, they can move money around, they can do all these things. And then they go, of course, do absolutely none of that. So after talking about all that, they literally went after none of the people we talked about.
Nailed it.
And so you nailed it, exactly, bam. And then, of course, the draft was completely threw everyone for a loop. I mean, I know when I put out my mock draft like a week before, I went with a left tackle. Mm-hmm. But it was, the fact that it ended up being Colton Miller and then P.J. Hall, Brandon Parker, all those guys, it just threw everybody in this weird place. So I've actually found this offseason to be highly entertaining. Now, the interesting part, I really do think this may be the most complete Raiders roster we've seen in the Reggie McKenzie era, period. The only place I really feel like you could make a legitimate argument that there is a free agent or two that would be a substantial enough upgrade to really make a play after them would be at strong safety. Now, again, I was joking earlier about how I'm a big Obi Melifonwu fan, but let's just take the frame of mind that you do want a proven veteran there because you're not 100% sold on Obi Melifonwu, and you realize that Reggie Nelson is way beyond par or behind par when it comes to the lack of athleticism. If you could go get Eric Reed or Kenny Vaccaro, that would make a lot of sense.
Okay. But
outside of that, I really can't think of a position where I go, yeah, they really need to go at somebody. Everything else feels like they've got someone legitimate starting, and they have someone at the second string that they can either groom to eventually start or makes a lot of sense as a backup in that spot.
Okay. The only other spot I can think of is nickelback, just because we're not hearing a lot of news around that position coming out of camp. Nick Nelson right now with the meniscus tear. I don't know how you feel about Worley. Gilchrist. If Obi's going to take that spot, Gilchrist can definitely move down there. So, and that's, I'm just saying that's kind of a stretch, but it's maybe the one position, the nickel and the dime back, where we can improve there. But I agree with you, Brian. I mean, this is a pretty well fleshed out roster, right, Jay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Can't disagree.
Well, see, now I disagree on the Nickelback thing because to me, Gilchrist is the clear Nickelback.
Okay.
And if you go back and you look at where he came into the league, his first couple years in San Diego, he played almost exclusively in the slot. He didn't play safety. He was playing like a slot corner.
Right.
And they played a lot of that big nickel look San Diego did. When he was drafted in the second round, if you go back and you look at it, I've posted the clip several times from YouTube, Mike Mayock says explicitly, this is the best slot defender in this draft. Those exact words. So, I mean, this is a guy who, yes, I don't think he hasn't necessarily played a lot of slot recently, but he makes a ton of sense to play that position because he doesn't have the background at safety. Again, I think this takes a little bit of thinking about what the Raiders really want to do with their defense. And to me, what makes the most sense is that they want to play with 5 defensive backs. They don't want to be in a 4-3. They want to be in a nickel look, but that 5th defensive back, that slot guy, they don't want a traditional slot corner, an undersized 170-pound corner. They want a little bit bigger guy who can blitz, who can play and run defense, and can cover. You know, so kind of that big nickel look, 4-2-5, whatever you want to call it. I think that's the direction they want to go. And it makes a lot of sense if you look at Ansley and you look at what they've done in Alabama.
Right.
I mean, I think there's a lot of possibilities there. And then Nick Nelson, the 4th-round pick from Wisconsin, who's one of my favorite corners in the draft, he's a really natural fit to learn behind Gilchrist.
Okay.
I mean, that would be a natural position for him to learn behind Gilchrist in that slot spot.
Because Obi Melifano is going to start at safety. That's what you're going to say next.
Yes, because Obi Melifonwu makes the most logical sense at strong safety.
Yeah.
Because he's big enough to man up a tight end. And that's really what it comes down to. He can come down into the box against the tight end and man him up. And then if you look at Eric Harris, they're almost the same athletic build. They're both over 3. They're both over 220 pounds. So there's a lot of similarities there. And then if you go look at Carl Joseph and Shalom Luani, Luani's a little bit taller, but they're both in the 205, 210-pound range at free safety.
Right.
So Gunther has shown he has a lot of prototypes that he likes from a physical standpoint in almost every position. And you'll see 2 guys that fit that prototype at literally every spot.
All right. Man, he just puts it out there, right? I'm on the ropes right now. Left. No. Good points. I mean, best case scenario, I would love to see it wash out like that too, and I think it will. I think you make a strong case. This time to talk money.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So let's, if we were to fill needs, if we were to do things moving forward, or even if we don't, you got a clear cap. It's time to talk about the cap situation. Now that it's all said and done, even though you completely missed in free agency and your mock draft was a wash and you spent the next 9 months working at a taqueria because of it, let's talk about this cap situation, Rory. You're the numbers guy. You're our guru. So help us break it down. Where are we at right now?
So we're currently in the ballpark of about $2.3 million in cap space.
Okay.
Which, if you think about it from a functional standpoint, in order to have enough cap space during the season, in order to make little moves here and there if someone gets injured, the Raiders are just fine. They would be fine to operate for the season and get by. The question is, what are they going to do with what I call the old farts? And it's a group of free agents the Raiders brought in that are all 30 years or older with minimal guaranteed money. And if they do have guaranteed money, the Raiders can save at least that amount or more by cutting them. And that group includes Breno Giacomini, Harris, not D'Angelo Hall, sorry.
Whoa.
Leon Hall.
Triggered.
Leon Hall. Everyone just threw themselves off a cliff. Leon Hall, Sharice Wright, and Reggie Nelson. It's that group. And, realistically right now it's top 51 contracts, which means not like right now the Raiders have 90 players on the roster. Not every one of them counts to the salary cap. You take the top 51 cap hits, and that's what counts. But all of these guys factor into that top 51. Now, like Bruno Giacomini, right? They paid him $1 million guaranteed the moment he signed. But if the Raiders cut him right now, they'll save $2.5 million.
Let's do it.
Let's do that right now.
Harris, Hall, and Wright all are no guaranteed money. You could save almost $700,000 for each guy. But the trick is, each one would have $45,000 in dead cap space because they received workout bonuses. What the Raiders did this offseason when they brought in all of these free agents, especially the old guys, the old farts that I call them, all of them have workout bonuses that are guaranteed in their contracts. And then they have no guaranteed roster money. And what that tells me is that the team really is looking at them as teachers for the offseason.
Right.
Yeah.
Help get your guys ready, create culture. Then realistically, when push comes to shove and you have to trim down the roster, those guys go out the door. And if somebody gets hurt, they're the first one on your list to call.
Right.
Because you already had them in for camp.
We're going to bring you in.
Right?
We're going to create a nice team atmosphere, rebuild the culture, and then we're going to shit can your ass.
Yeah, well, but you pretty much tell them that from the get-go.
Right.
Look, we're bringing you in. We're bringing you in. We know for a fact that you're probably not going to make the 53. But we need you to come in, teach these guys. You're going to put up some good tape. If someone in the league gets hurt, you'll have an opportunity because you put up good tape to go somewhere else. And if one of our guys get hurt, you're at the top of our list to bring back.
Not too
All
shabby.
these vets have been around. They know the league. They know how it goes.
Right.
But, I mean, let's think about this. If you're talking about the cornerbacks, right, you have Gary and Conley. You have Melvin, who you signed for $6.5 million on a one-year contract. You have Worley, who's now on a rookie deal that has no guaranteed money because he was waived. You have Nick Nelson. You have Antonio Hamilton, who is a rookie of your own, right? Depending on how you feel about Gilchrist, that's a guy making $3.5 million who's going to play some sort of semi-cornerback role. Who are you going to cut for Hall or Wright? Like, realistically, who are you going to cut for one of those two guys?
Right.
Like, are you really going to go cut Antonio Hamilton, who you're paying $300,000 to, to keep Sharice Wright, 30-year-old on, a veteran minimum deal? Like, why? What's the point? What is the long-term value, right? And the same thing goes for safety. And Reggie Nelson, they paid him $1.15 million already from day one. That's what they paid him. They can save $1.35 million by cutting him.
You like
because
this?
That 1.3.
You like this cap savviness, don't you? You like the cap savviness, don't you? I mean, the way that this is all set up and the kind of the signing strategies they had, that got your big boy panties wet, didn't it, Rory?
I'll be honest. I actually think it's a complete waste of time.
Is it?
But I understand it. Like,
Right.
I see where there's some method here. Because the problem is there are too many consistent themes when you go and look at all these contracts. They are so similar, just in different quantities, that you have to say to yourself, there's a plan here. This isn't random. This was not, we're going to bring in this guy and this guy and this guy, just to see what will happen and we'll have them compete.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's way too much consistency and structure to all these contracts, and there are too many, consistent themes here. But again, like Reggie Nelson, right? His entire contract is based up, going forward, is based up of week-by-week roster bonuses. That's all it is. It's week-by-week roster bonuses. So if you're the Raiders and you have 4 young safeties in Carl Joseph, Shalom Luwani, Obi Melifonwu, and Eric Harris, are you really going to have a 35-year-old safety who can't run make your roster, make your top 53? Are you really going to do that?
Don't get me excited, Rory. Don't get me excited because if they don't cut him, I'm going to be really upset, man.
I am too, because it makes no sense.
Right.
There's just no logic to it. Like, it does. Like, why would you?
Yeah.
Reggie Nelson, what are you going to do? Have him play free safety? What? So Carl Joseph's not going to be on the field. Okay, we'll put Carl Joseph at strong safety. The dude's 5'9". What are you going to do when Travis? This is what happened to the Raiders all year last year with smart offenses. The Raiders use interchangeable safeties. Gunther says he's going to use interchangeable safeties. That means whatever side of the field the tight end is on, that's the strong side, which means that safety lining up over him is going to come down into the box to cover him. Go watch the Ravens game. They would put the tight end on Carl Joseph's side. He would come down to the box. They would throw a deep ball to a speedy wide receiver that was being covered by Sean Smith. And when that ball was thrown, Reggie Nelson wasn't within 10 yards of the ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
Over and over
Because
and
he's
over again.
that slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so now granted, our corners are much better from last year. You have no Sean Smith. But it's irrelevant. I mean, Reggie Nelson's still not going to make that play. And if you think that he's going to cheat and defend that deep ball, all you have to do is go run a dig on the front side, and Reggie Nelson's not going to be anywhere in the picture because now he's going onto the back half of the field to cover the deep ball.
Right.
So now you're going to have a guy running an in-cutting route, get wide open with no safety help and no one to tackle him after the reception. So either way, if you're the Raiders defense, you're screwed. I mean, having him on the field is an absolute abortion of an idea.
Oh, wow.
But I don't use that term lightly. Like, it makes me want to throw up. Like, I will be honest, like, there will be nobody more upset than me if Reggie Nelson is playing significant snaps in this upcoming season.
Well, you got two guys here that might argue with you, man, about that.
Yeah. So the thing is Gunther's mentioned that Nelson is in that rotation right now. I mean, I know it's a lot of smoke screen. They're going to say the best things to keep their guys motivated. You know, Nelson said he's just going through the process. He was actually asked that question. He's like, I'm just enjoying the process. So it was kind of a slippery answer. But according to Gunther, yeah, Reggie Nelson's going to be here. He's not going to be playing 99% of the snaps like he did last year. So there's a chance that he makes this roster. But if he's starting, I'm going to be really upset.
Hell yeah.
You know, if he's here.
Now, if he. Okay, well, again, here's my main question. Let's say he does make the roster. I have a really good feeling that Eric Harris is making this roster.
Okay.
I don't know about Shalom Luani. We haven't heard much about him. But let's say that you treat Gilchrist as a safety. That gives you 5 safeties. If you're going to have 10 defensive backs, which is typical, who are your 5 corners going to be? Conley, Worley, Melvin, Nelson, and who's number 5? Is it going to be, you're going to either do what, Hamilton or, you know, because that's what it comes down to. Is You're going to go basically one light on, or no, sorry. That Hamilton would be gone and you'd have Nelson. So basically you would have 6 safeties and 4 corners, which again isn't that big of a deal if you consider that you're really going to be fudging the lines on what is a safety or a corner with your slot defender.
Right.
But to me, that gets in this weird place where I think you're running a lot of risks. And you really want to, you know, do you want to cut Shalom Luani and then have Reggie Nelson there in his place and still have Gilchrist technically as a quote-unquote safety? You know, like I tell people, he might be labeled as a safety when we start week 1. I wouldn't be surprised if he spends 75+% of his snaps in the slot.
Okay.
That's where I think he's going to spend the vast majority of his time.
So
we've heard from Gunther, right, and that they're going to be in a rotation at safety. So Nelson, Carl Joseph, and Gilchrist. So what does that mean? When you go to 3 wide receivers, what happens? I would imagine Gilchrist is going to the slot, and that your other 2 safeties are now Nelson and Carl Joseph. That scares the crap out of me because Nelson's on the field.
Right. Right.
So Paul Gunther, who's known for his deceptive defensive scheme, has already got us confused. Right?
Yeah.
He's doing a good job, man.
To some point, he definitely has, like I said, there's 2 things going on. He has clearly a very set skill set and physical makeup for every position. You can see it. It's clear at every single spot. I don't care. Like, look at Bruce Irvin and Arden Key. Extremely similar. Size, height, weight, skill set, very similar. You go look at, like, Khalil Mack and Tank Carradine at the strong side defensive end, and maybe even Mario Edwards Jr., all kind of in the same ballpark. Khalil Mack's a little smaller. But look what they're doing at, defensive tackle. You could see a lot of similarities there. The only guy who's a real outlier is Jelly Ellis.
Yeah.
So you could tell that he's clearly a run defender.
Right.
Look at linebacker. Super similar across the board.
Yep.
With the exception of, like, two guys, basically Morrow and Derek Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them are all 6'1", 240 pounds plus. He's so consistent in what he looks for at every position that there's a certain amount of confidence you have going, I can really see this here and this here and this here. And then there's these weird things we see with these veterans, that do make, are they really going to be running that guy on the field? Personally, when I look at all the evidence and I just look what they're doing with the contracts, I don't buy it. And they can cut these guys and save themselves over $6 million going into the season. Mm-hmm. And if they do that, that $6 million is rolling over to next year. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of pluses to cutting all these guys and not keeping them on the roster.
My eyes just rolled back in my head like a slot machine, like in the cartoons. Came up dollar signs. Yeah. So we kind of like dancing around a little bit about cuts, guys that are going to make the team, guys that are not. Give me a couple surprise roster cuts, Roy.
I think Tank Carradine is going to make this roster. He has a 100% guaranteed contract. It's only like $1.5 million, but every penny of it's already guaranteed. Mm-hmm. So if they cut him, they eat the whole thing. Mm. I think Mario Edwards Jr. gets traded at some point.
I was just thinking that the other night in my head that Mario probably isn't going to be around this year. He's still struggling with injuries, having the rough mini camp. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't see Edwards being around.
No, I definitely think he's one. We're going to see him get moved at some point. I think Switzer, the slot receiver, the receiver, I think he's a lock-in to make the top 5 on the wide receiver side.
Right.
The problem, the guy I see having issues there is definitely going to be Seth Roberts. I have a feeling he's not going to make that roster.
Here's the problem,
I don't think he will.
Doesn't that cost us $2 million to cut him?
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah.
And we'll only save $2 million, but, such is life.
Right,
I think just what they brought in this offseason, again, the offense is very similar. So look at Martavis Bryant and then look at Marcel Aitman and their skill sets and their size and physicals.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah, I thought the same
thing. And then you see Cooper and Nelson. They're definitely different, but you could see some similarities. Mm-hmm. And then Switzer is a pure slot guy.
Right.
But, again, I can map out where all these guys go and make a whole lot of sense doing it. Mm-hmm. I can say, clearly Martavis Bryant and Aitman are going to be your Z, right, your front side guy.
Right.
And then you're like, clearly Cooper is going to be your number one backside guy who's going to go into the slot. Switzer's clearly your slot guy. Mm-hmm. So even if, Jordy Nelson goes down, you move Cooper over and yada, yada, yada. So, again, I think there's a lot of really obvious stuff.
Yeah. So you've given us
I think the big question.
Your shocking cut would be Mario Edwards. Your surprising makes the rosters. Tank Carradine, which, as you laid it out, not too surprising if you actually look at his contract details.
No. Again, it's not overly surprising.
Right.
I will say this. I don't think there's going to be a lot of surprises. I think when push comes to shove, if you really go and look at what Gruden and how he likes to assemble his rosters, and you look at the contracts, I think this 53 is damn near set right now. And I don't think there's really that much that's up for competition.
So
I think the idea that there's a lot of camp competition is kind of a joke.
Okay.
I think it's mostly I think it's window dressing.
Okay.
It's, we're going to all come in here and compete. But realistically, nah, not really. Everyone's kind of set. It's just a matter of getting them all on the same page.
Okay. Smash cut to Reggie Nelson starting safety, Sharice Wright starting corner,
and then me throwing myself off a cliff. Yes, exactly.
Police sirens in the background.
Yeah,
Rocket launcher going off.
10 stars. Screw 5 stars. We're going 10 stars, and we're going to blow the whole damn city up.
That's a new game. That's a brand new game. So what are you getting out of OTAs? We've gotten a lot of news. We've gotten some good pressers. We've gotten some good photos and what have you. Feels like a lot more news and media coming out of OTAs and minicamp this year than last year. That could just be me like looking closer and being excited about this season. But kind of what's your overall feeling coming out of this? Are you feeling pretty confident about the team? Are you excited about this getting into gear in July?
Yeah, I'm actually. I came into this offseason very skeptical, and I'm finding myself really getting drawn in. And there are a lot of things I've heard coming out of OTAs that are just music to my ears. One of the things was when Gruden was talking about having Carr operate more like Peyton Manning. And this is something I've talked about so many times, where if I was designing an offense for Carr, I would come in, I'd give him like 4 plays every play. So he has his base play plus 3 audibles, and let him just rock and roll from the line of scrimmage. And let him go. And don't try to micromanage him in that sense.
Yeah.
And that's the Peyton Manning recipe. That's what he did. He'd have his play. He'd have an audible. He'd have an audible pass, like 1 or 2 audible pass. He'd have an audible run in which he could decide what direction. So he was kind of coming into everything with 3-4 plays every play. And he did what he did.
You mentioned Peyton Manning, but also sounds very similar to another quarterback that actually wore silver and black, and his name was Rich Gannon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of... Rich Gannon was very cerebral. I don't think people realize that, but he was a very cerebral guy. He's very intelligent when you get him away from having a hot take. Rich Gannon loves his hot takes. But when you actually hear him talk, like outside of when he's just trying to be a flamethrower, he is extremely intelligent. And, Derek Carr, I saw him, he did an event here in Modesto. He called it Chalk Talk. And him and his brother, I did a big write-up of it it's on my website, but him and his brother were here, and they were breaking down plays. And when you hear him start talking about some of the calls and some of the things they saw and some of the things he's doing pre-snap and what he's seeing and how fast he's seeing it, you're like, this dude's extremely intelligent.
Yeah.
That has to be an asset. What we saw last year was a complete disaster. How many times did you see Carr audible? Like, very rarely.
Right.
It was kind of gross. Under Bill Musgrave, we saw him Bill Musgrave started trusting him, giving him more and more authority at the line of scrimmage, and you could see it. And they were very effective.
Yeah, and last year when he did audible, it did not go well. It resulted in a lot of confusion, and it's just you could just tell that wasn't being run through at practice. Nobody was prepared for it. Possibly the options he had at his fingertips just weren't good. And definitely looking forward to a more cerebral Derek Carr. I think fans that are more tuned in, the informed fan, we've all been clamoring for this.
Yes,
and we're gonna have to change your name to the Holistic Flamethrower, Rory.
The dude abides, whatever's clever.
Yeah, man, anything else you want to cover before we get out of here? Do you want to give us like a hot take or maybe a win-loss, early prediction?
Ooh.
Early prediction, I would be really happy if they went 10-6 and snagged a wild card.
Yeah.
I do think we are definitely going to see some weird ups and downs at points. Some of that's going to be just everyone getting on the same page. And, I do think that will kind of cause a little bit of a ruckus and not quite allow them to do like a 12-4 type season. The only other thing I'll say is a lot of the news around, Khalil Mack, what's going to happen with that contract.
Right.
I know Mr. Stapler caught some flack on the Twitter for putting the 2 cents in. All I will say on this subject, I'll say a couple things, but the first thing is the idea that they don't pay him this year, whoever's making that call I would personally like to punch in the throat. That is an extremely dangerous decision to make. And I think it's very risky.
Here's the thing, though. What's to be said that an offer hasn't been made and the agent's just holding out to see what, Donald's going to do in the offseason? Nobody's saying that there's no offer on the table. Nobody's saying it's the Raiders' decision not to pay him. You can say that it's the agent's decision right now not to accept any offers until other things happen. So, is it a little bit unfair to place this all on the Raiders organization? Speaking for my source.
I think so. What you're saying is 100% completely accurate and true. That is 100% absolutely.
Podcast is over.
I would, if it were me, in my personal opinion, I would almost guarantee they have an offer on the table that's extremely fair and aggressive for Khalil Mack. And yes, I 100% believe that what the agent is doing is like, bro, you don't need to go to mini camps. You don't need to worry about it. They're going to start finding the crap out of you when it comes to training camp. But what always happens in these situations is they waive the fines when you sign your deal. So take your time, enjoy your offseason. You worked your ass off the last 4 years. Relax. Totally think that's happening. And also, I'm not necessarily sure how much Donald is driving it as much as Clowney is driving it. Because that's the comparable player, is Jadeveon Clowney. Right. Now, the last I saw from writers in Houston was about a month and a half ago. They were talking about $18.5 million for Clowney, which to me makes a lot of sense, especially if we're expecting Khalil Mack to hit that 20 number. So I do think the shoe to drop is Jadeveon Clowney. When that one drops, I think you get the realistic setup for Khalil Mack. And then between him and Donald, I don't understand necessarily why they would try to one-up each other per se. Whoever goes first, the next one's just going to up it by 10,000,
right? And
be like, just to say that the agent is got the biggest contract.
It's
total bullcrap.
It's a total classic Price is Right move.
Yeah, and he's only going to get one-upped by like $10,000. He's not going to get at most $100,000. He's not going to get one-upped by like $1 million a season, because that would be insane. They're Khalil Mack might sign for 6 years, 120. And then Aaron Donald signs for 6 years, 120 and 10,000. 120 million, 10,000. That would be that kind of one-upping.
The word is that Clowney was close to signing a deal last week, and then sprained his wrist at the offer table. Tragic.
Ow!
Tragic.
The writer's cramp. Oh man, I'm gonna have to give it 4 weeks.
That injury history, man, it's catching up with them.
Yeah.
I got slammed from my sources, Roy. It was not exclusive to Twitter. It was on my own website. It was also on Reddit. And then when I walked into work the next day, my boss called me into his office. He's like, "Oh, you got sources now?" Yeah. All right.
Of all the things, like my reaction, because once you met, we were, a little behind the curtains here. We were chatting offline, before this. When you mentioned to me what it was, I went, "Oh yeah, I remember that." Because but the thing about that tweet, I remember when it went down. I didn't care about the sources part. Like, wow, would be, my man knows somebody. Whoa, okay, that's cool. I for a while there, I had someone that I knew, had a really, personal relationship with.
Yeah.
That was involved with the team, and I was getting fed a little bit of information here and there. So not anymore, but it was happening. So that's cool.
Yeah.
It happens. But my reaction was like, whoever is making that decision, if a Raiders executive is deciding that they're going to make sure a deal is not signed this season, that's the guy I want to punch.
Yeah.
Because now, can you make an argument that it makes sense? Yes, if your argument's going to be the franchise tag next year is going to be probably 18, 19 million, they're going to go into next year's cap somewhere in the ballpark of 60 million-ish potentially, and then they're going to have some other deals that have to get made up, maybe extending Martavis and a couple other things. But that gives you a lot of room to play with,
Right.
Yeah. So if the idea is going to be we want to take a really huge cap hit year one, well, next year would make a lot of sense to do that.
Yeah.
So can you make an argument that they could make that work? Yes. The problem is right now the Raiders have some leverage. If they wait to franchise him to do a new deal, they have no leverage.
Right. Yeah, no, it's a bad move. It's a bad move.
Yeah.
The thing is we don't know what the word is out of Clowney's camp. As far as we know, he could be a total jackass.
Yeah,
and can continue this holdout all the way past the deadline.
I'm already calling him a jackass because let's get this shit done so that we can do.
Yeah,
you're a jackass, Clowney.
He's the guy at the register, trying to work the gift card loophole to get the extra $10 off, and it's like, yo, just pay for the goddamn groceries. I'll pay you $10 to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, he totally could be. And, if he hits $18.5 million, he's going to reset the market. Mm-hmm. That'll, be pretty significant. And, then I think that really dials in Khalil Mack for $20 million a year. And I think everyone will be a happy camper and moving on with life. Sooner the better. But, deadlines make deals in the NFL. So, my target, realistically, probably first week of training camp.
Yeah, okay.
Would be when I really think things start to heat up.
Okay. Yeah, it's all quiet right now, but Rory Anderson's not quiet, ladies and gentlemen. He's a fountain of information. We love having you on the show, Rory.
I talk way too much to be quiet. I talk way too much.
What are you drinking today? Oh, yeah, are you caffeinated?
I'm always caffeinated, bro. Like I drink like 72 cups of coffee a day. I'm wired. I'm involved in sales, bro. Like all we do is drink coffee and just spaz out.
Coffee is for closers, Roy.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
There you go.
Well, that's good, man. You got any Father's Day plans this weekend?
No, we did. We're going to see my in-laws tomorrow. We did a little barbecue today. Some burgers, hung out. So. Cool. Taking it easy, clean the whole freaking house like always. But that's just being that's life. Having kids. So gotta pick a day to finally catch up and deal with everything. But no, I mean it's Father's Day weekend, so I'm looking forward to relaxing tomorrow. My in-laws and with my father-in-law, that means quite a many cocktails. So it should be good.
All right, man. That's good stuff. We're glad to have you on, and looking forward to the next time you come back on here and we talk some more Raiders football.
Hell yeah.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me on again, guys. And hopefully it involves a Raiders team that does not have Reggie Nelson. Otherwise, I may be seeing a psychiatrist. So.
Make sure you follow this man at holistic_pickle on Twitter. He's a great follow. You'll learn a lot, and read all of his work over at RaiderRamble.com. Thanks again, Rory.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, and it was good talking with you, Aunt Che. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
See you when we see you. Talk to you later.
Peace. Later. I heard some beeping in the background. I think he was jacking cars while he was on. That guy's very talented.
He's breaking in. He's crossing wires right now.
Slim Jim in one hand, phone in the other. Yeah, that's our favorite fugitive on the run, Rory Anderson. Very informational. The YouTube over here, their minds are blown. They're like, this guy's got it down. Politician. He's a politician.
He's a politician.
Baller Hall of Fame. That's it. We got a guest coming in tonight. I don't know what slot he's coming in on. We are going to hit the break here shortly. Hear from the callers. We'll recap those calls. And then it's either going to be Cain or our guest. As you can see, there's a chair. If you're watching the video, there's an open chair. There's going to be an in-studio guest.
Yeah.
This week. We haven't seen Juice come back because he's like, they got a camera now.
He's like, I don't want to be on that camera.
No, I'm just playing. Juice is in the chat right now. He does want to come back over here. You're welcome anytime, Juice. Anytime, seriously.
I should hit him with that Hulkster point, right?
Yeah.
Should hit him with that.
I like that. Yeah, man. Let's. I want to talk about it, but I kind of just want to let that sink in right now.
Yeah.
Let's hit the break.
Let's hit it.
Let's do it. All right, y'all. We're gonna go to break, and we'll be back with your phone calls and lots more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace.
Kenny, Che, it's the Wop, El Wapo, Wapalopicus. What's up, guys? Wow. So the last time you guys just had this episode, you were talking about favorite wrestlers of all time. I sat down and I was thinking, my list is Macho Man, Rick Rude, Rick Martel, Sergeant Slaughter, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. That's mine, right there. Well, really, like, nothing's going on really, but you guys had some surprise cuts. I thought about some people that I thought might get cut. Shalom Luani. I think he's a good player. He did pretty well when he did play. I saw some fire in him. I liked it, but I just think experience is going to end up cutting him short, and that would suck. But I see him or Trayvon Hester. Not much has been heard about him. He seemed to, flash here and there, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets cut just because, for some reason I think Mo Hurst, everyone keeps saying a step above and everyone's saying, oh, well, it's just off season. I think that dude has something in him that just makes him a better player all around, and I wouldn't be surprised if we end up getting him gone. Now, another thing. Jay, I'm with you. I think the Rams lose the first game. And hear me out. I know it sounds crazy. The only thing they have to go on is how we played last year and maybe 2016 when we were doing well. They have no idea what John Gruden has. Maybe the coach just because he learned a little bit, but I think John Gruden is going to throw them so many curveballs, and he already knows how they're going to play. We have a full 2 years on how they've done. Plus, we have their offensive coordinator. Forget about it. I think we just have too much of an advantage with too smart of a staff. Like you've seen in the movie 300 when all these guys brought in every man they had, and they're like, what, you only brought 300? He's like, shit, we got 300 badass warriors. You got fucking farmers and artists and stuff, I think we got a good group of soldiers, and I see them progressing very well because John Gruden's not going to be... Yo, it's the WAP. Wow, that was the first time I've ever gone over that. But back to what I was saying, I think John Gruden's got these guys well prepared. They're gonna know how to play against the Rams, as opposed to what the Rams are gonna do with us. They have no idea. But I think they're gonna come hard, but they're not gonna be ready for what John Gruden's gonna throw at them. Make this next one, couple of ones quick. But Bruce Irvin, I think he is going to have a booming year. I just see a spark in him. He's always wanted to be a leader, and I think that's going to push him to be a better person. And I like the fact that he's taken Arden Key under his wing. You see a lot of these veterans taking specific guys under their wing. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys that are under their wing end up being a lot better because they're more experienced. They're going to be listening to someone that's been there, done that. And as far as LeBron James being the GOAT, I think that's just a dumb thing to say because he hasn't finished his body of work yet. In order to call someone the GOAT, you got to have a full body of work, and he doesn't have that. He's a great athlete, great basketball player, and in my opinion, one of the weakest eras of basketball. There's no dominant center. People aren't putting pressure on him. And if you call LeBron the GOAT, you better call Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson the Great White Sharks of the NBA, because they had killer mentalities and LeBron does not have that. Alright, dudes, that's all I got. WAP all out. You guys have a good one. Love your show. Everyone, gotta respect this, guys. They know what they're talking about. Peace.
Hello, pillagers. Good evening. Well, what a wonderful podcast I listened to. I love Cain's Corner. I love the way he says he doesn't want any of that shit on his pastrami sandwich. Priceless. Eternal Pessimist, very good. I'll check out your music. And the other fellow, Ray, Sugar Ray. Excellent. Very good. You'll make the off-season pass by so quickly. Unfortunately, that will mean the summer will pass by even more quickly. And then the autumn wind will be here, and we're off to the Super Bowl. Good night, pillagers.
Pillaging Podcast. Free basers alike. It's Father's Day weekend. My father's been gone 16 years, so I want to give a shout out to a living father. I give a shout out to your father, Cain, Raider Roy. He's a great man, a good man. Glad to know him. Great musician, so shout out to Raider Roy. Except when I was younger, he was always trying to get me to drink that Raider Kool-Aid. But you know, Honky's too smart for that. I wasn't buying into the Raider love. So, but shout out to Raider Roy. Che, congratulations on your first Father's Day. Hope to many more for you, my friend. Rest of Raider Nation. I hope they have visitation on Sunday at your father's prison. Hopefully y'all get to go see them. Maybe better. Maybe you guys are even cellmates. I don't know. But besides that, fuck the nation. Honky's out.
All right, and we're back. We just heard from some of your calls, short calls this week. I know folks are busy out there. The early day might have caught you off guard. So we get some calls that come in tomorrow. We'll just add those to next week's show. But first off, Wop Raider.
Yeah.
Weekly caller.
Yeah.
Came in. Sergeant Slaughter, man. Solid list. Sergeant Slaughter, one of the only, maybe the only cartoon crossover.
That's right.
Right?
G.I. Joe, bro.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe.
Who was it William Perry, the refrigerator? He was in the WWF and G.I. Joe also as well.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so. I want to say he had like a Morning Star, but he was like a silver football attached to a chain. I don't know why I remember that.
Man, that
could be something else, but I know he came into the WWF not at the same time as Sergeant Slaughter. Had been there a long time, but they had maybe a storyline together. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making this up, but I swear I remember that. Anyway, solid list. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, man. Hey, former NFL player, played for the Atlanta Falcons.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan was shit just because he come out with that 2x4.
Yeah,
it's just like, oh, that was it, man. That's all he had to do. He's getting beat up. He'd always had the 2x4, right?
Yeah.
And as he was setting it down in his corner, he'd always get beat up, right? He always get ambushed, man. Come on, Hacksaw.
Well, you got to let that 2x4 go, bro.
Just hold on to it.
Yeah.
Just hold on to it, man.
I wish he was still around during the ECW. He'd be swinging that 2x4. That was the other thing. At the end of the match, you come out with the 2x4 swinging.
Yeah.
Would never connect. Everybody would just exit the ring.
Just scare everybody off.
Yeah. Yeah, he was cool. I think he got busted for pot back when he played for the Falcons, something like that. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, Luwani could definitely get cut. He's fast. He's a preseason ball hawk. But he looked lost in limited time during the regular season last year. I remember he got the most time against the Chargers at the end of the year, and he just really, really, really rough out there, real green. So I know last year he was a fan favorite, but basically everybody on the bench was because the whole thing just went sideways.
Yeah, it's easy to be a favorite when all people are doing is complaining about what's on the field, man.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, get that guy in there.
The way it's lined up now, though, I mean, would you agree losing Luwani wouldn't be as much of a blow as if we let him go last year?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Not a head scratcher this year.
Yeah.
Would have been last year. Gruden with the upper hand against the Rams. You make a strong case, Wop, and now you and Che ganging up on me. You might be convincing me, but I still see us going 10-6.
Come on over to the dark side.
But, I mean, it's a strong case, right? Gruden's got all the tricks up his sleeve. He's got his protege McVay on the other sideline. He's going to have, tons of film study under his belt by then. He's definitely pouring over that game. So it could be, as long as the team gels that first week, I mean, that could happen.
Yeah.
I still think that they have a lot of talent on defense, and it's going to be, hopefully, a knockdown, drag-out fight. Hopefully that's a great game to kick off the season.
Definitely.
At the very least. Don't bring LeBron James into this podcast, okay? While you're partially correct, he hasn't finished off his body of work. True, but the Warriors did that for him. They finished his body off real proper. LeBron James will make a run with another team next year. He's not winning another finals.
Yeah, man.
He may not even make it to another finals.
This is true. It's very possible.
If he comes to the Western Conference, he's not making it to the finals.
Well,
If he stays in the East, if he goes to Philly, they'll be battling it out with Boston. He has a shot. I think a lot of people want to see Boston Golden State next year.
Right.
I think a lot of people don't want to see Golden State at all next year.
There's a lot of people, There is a lot of people that don't want to see Golden State. But hey,
Yeah.
that's the norm for any team that's very successful for more than 1 year. Man.
Oh, yeah.
That's the norm, man. That's the norm.
Any non-Yankees baseball fan felt that way for a long time.
Right.
Right. As an A's fan and a Giants fan, I was tired of seeing the Yankees in there. But yeah, Wap, you make some good points as you do every week. Much love to the UK. We got a strong following out there.
Yeah, man.
Seems like we got quite a few listeners out there.
And callers, too.
I love it.
Yeah.
Look, guys, enjoy the live game out there this year. You definitely deserve it. I know you're a passionate Raider fan base out there. And like I've said before, it makes us feel just a little bit better about us losing a home game. But you better make that home atmosphere for real out there.
You better really come strong, man.
Come with it.
Come strong, because if you don't come strong, you know there's going to be an episode of the podcast following that game.
Yeah.
And we're not going to be too happy with y'all.
We may have to get one of these guys on the air after that game.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool, right?
That'd be cool. Hey.
Where are they playing? Like Wembley? Like,
I think so.
yeah,
I think so, actually. Yeah,
that's cool. That's a big spot.
that is.
Yeah, World Cup right
stadium.
now too. By the way, speaking of big stadiums,
Yep.
I hear Northern California is getting it next time,
Really?
which means we may have a couple games here in Santa Clara
Okay.
at Levi's. Dare I say stadium? Feels more like an airport or a hotel lobby. That's what that place feels like.
At Levi's at Great America?
Thanks for the kind words, Honky, in regards to Raider Roy and Che. As far as, you not taking the Raiders Kool-Aid and being too smart for that, let me just reset the fact that you grew up a Houston Oilers fan. In the decade where the Niners were dominating and your dad was a Niner fan and your brother's a Niners fan, and an era where the Raiders were not dominating but holding on, and everyone else in the family were Raider fans, you were a Oilers fan and a fan of Warren Moon, who had already retired. Too smart for that. I'll just reset that take. Those are our callers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good calls, man. Some good calls.
It's time for a new segment on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we put it out there this week. We were doing a hashtag challenge. It's a little segment I borrowed from my old podcast with the Raiders slant on it, though.
Yeah.
So we asked you guys to take your favorite movies and turn them into Raiders movies. And this is the PJ4F hashtag challenge. Little game show music for you guys.
Yeah. That's fire right there, man.
A little funk. Yeah, I produced that some time ago. That's on my album, Don't Drink the Kool-Aid. Speaking of Kool-Aid, that's on my album, Don't Drink the Kool-Aid, available nowhere online. And I'm all sold out of CDs. But I got to put that album online. I feel like that was a political album when it came out.
Yeah.
And now it's relevant again.
Oh, hey, bring it back, man. Bring it
right
back.
Featuring such hits as Gangster Incorporated. And that one, A Little Less More. And, of course, the title track, Don't Drink the Kool-Aid. So let me reset the segment. This is the PJ4F hashtag challenge. Turn your favorite movies into Raiders movies. Now, back when we did this before, we had much stricter guidelines. We weren't allowing you to play around with the title.
No.
So I had some examples out there. One of them was Being John Matuzak. So you see how I daisy-chained Matuzak onto there.
Yeah.
A lot of guys were kind of like carrot marking names in and taking great liberties with titles. And some of them are funny. Some of them are reaches.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of submissions.
Yeah, there was.
And so for that, I appreciate it.
We appreciate we appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
You guys put forth some effort. Man.
And I'm not going to be strict on this going forward. I'm just going to keep it fast and loose.
Hell yeah.
But I'm not going to read every submission.
Yeah.
Because there's just too many. Again,
you gotta take a top 5, top 10.
Yeah.
You know? That's how it's gotta be, man.
I got a little more than a top 10.
Okay. Okay, maybe I got top 25 then.
You see this list. It's hefty. We're going to fly through them because we're basically just killing time right now. Cain's on a mission. He's with family today, so he's going to join us. We're just giving him some time. And then our guest, I told to come on into the crow's nest here in about an hour. So
yeah.
We got some time to kill. So we'll go through these. There's no clear-cut winner that I've decided yet. I'm actually I'm going to let you, brother. I'm going to let you decide a winner.
Okay.
So there's a lot to take in. Just try to keep them in mind.
I'm gonna do the best I can, man.
I don't know if you get your phone out if you want to take a note.
Don't try to kill me. Don't kill me on this, man. If you guys don't agree with my choice.
This week there's no prize this week. Well, you know what? Let's do this. I'm feeling generous. I will buy you a Pillaging Podcast T-shirt.
Woo!
For the winner this week.
There you go.
How about that? I'll pay for it, and we'll get it shipped out to you. Shipping's slow, so be patient.
Yeah.
It's like I said, these guys are doing it themselves.
Right.
Okay. So the winner this week gets a free T-shirt.
Man, now there's pressure. Now there's pressure on me, and now there's really going to be some hate, some backlash if I don't pick.
How about this? Me and you will whittle this down to like maybe a top 5.
Okay.
And then you can pick it out.
Okay.
All right. Let's how do they say earmark some of our favorites.
Okay.
And then we'll go back through and we'll pick a winner out of those.
Sounds good.
All right, let's get started. So the examples were Being John Matuzak, which would be pretty awesome, and Silver and Black Panther.
Okay.
Because somebody was going to say that. So
right,
I just want to take it off the table. The other one I'm taking off the table is Dude, Where's My Car? Because a lot of you submitted that one. It's not a bad one. It's just too many of you submitted it.
Clearly, it was too easy.
It was maybe too easy.
It was too easy.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the movie poster. But, I mean, if that were to win, who do I give the prize to?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like 50 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we don't got that many T-shirts.
No. I ain't got that much money. So let's get started. First off, Angry Trask entered in with Dear John ... Gruden.
Okay.
Now, I think Dear John was a TV show.
Yeah, I think so too, right?
So, but it's funny. Angry, if you were to write John, a Dear John, what would it say? Let's be frank, a Dear John is a divorce letter. So, but throw it out there. Make sure you listen to their podcast, Just Win Ladies, by the way.
Yeah.
On Twitter, at Just Win Ladies, or at Angry Trask. Follow her. Follow them. Follow Jenny Lynn, too.
Yeah.
Follow the whole bunch. Eric at Isepe75. I don't even know if that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. ESIPE 75. That could just be like initials. I don't know. Anyways, he said the snake on the plane, Super Coopers, and Carface.
I like Super Coopers, man.
I like that one too.
Out of those three, I like Super Coopers. Man.
All right, so we're gonna highlight that one. We're gonna highlight that one. All right, so let's move forward. At _CAU _ at _CAUE _ came with Mac to the Future.
Okay.
By the way, YouTube, let me know if you guys are getting video over there because I'm not seeing it on my end. Anyways, Mac to the Future, good one. I'm not highlighting that one. Yeah. At the 509 Raider, the Big Janikowski, which was followed up from Team Building ROI, the Big Gradkowski. They're good.
The Big Janikowski I like more than the Big Gradkowski.
Oh. All right. Yeah. All right, Raider in England. He had multiple submissions. I thought a lot of these were strong. Bows in the Hood. Dennis Alien.
Okay.
Mr. and Mrs. Lee Smith. That's pretty good. Rodney Hudson Hawk. Featuring Bruce Willis. This is maybe my favorite of the bunch. Gandhi Asamoah.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
Okay.
Can we highlight that one?
Let's do Gandhi Asamoah. Yeah.
And now I got to take this one off the table too because I think 2 or 3 people tweeted out The Passion of the Gilchrist, which is good, but it was a multiple entry.
Right.
So another one of my favorites right here is, in my opinion, a strong contender. It's your call.
Okay.
Flores Gump.
Forrest Gump. Oh, yeah. No, we got to throw that one in there for sure.
That's a good one.
Forrest Gump. Yes.
Yes. Now, we took Raiders of the Lost Ark off the table, as well as Tomb Raiders, but he came with Shraders of the Lost Ark.
I like that one.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, good.
That's
like
creative.
that.
That's creative.
Shraders of the Lost Ark. Yeah.
Also, Casablanca.
Okay.
Nice
okay,
throwback.
Okay.
Ben Hurst, play on Ben-Hur. And Corey James and the Giant Peach. And lastly, Marshawn of the Dead.
Marshawn of the Dead.
That's
I like
good.
that one. I like
Yeah.
the Marshawn of the Dead. Yeah.
Who's actually also dead. Can you do me a quick favor
Yeah. Yeah.
and just
Hit
slide
window.
this?
Hit
Yeah,
this
'cause
window.
someone's out there. I think you got enough cable. You don't need to take those off. Someone's out there with the leaf blower right now, which is like my least favorite thing. My neighbor's got 2 leaf blowers going some days. Yeah, he's double fisting leaf blowers out there. So let's keep it moving. Johnny Black 13 with Al Apocalypse Now, the Howie Long Kiss Goodnight, Madden Max, and Raiders of the Lost Mark, which is pretty funny. It's a good visual, but again, that was a multiple entry. I got to take that one off the table. Are we highlighting any of those? Good, but not contending, right?
Yeah.
Right. Madden Max. I would actually like to see John Madden dressed up like that, though. That would be pretty good. Pete Raiders came with Honey, I Sis Trunk the Kids.
I like that one.
All right. Judging by your reaction. I'm just kind of going off your reaction here. Murph from Raider Fan Radio, good friend of ours. Murph, Sean Smith starring in Con Air. Sorry, Murph.
You didn't use the name in the title, man. You didn't put,
Do better.
But I like your stuff.
As LeBron says, do better next week, guys. Rob F. with Jerry McGuire. It was good. Too easy. AJ DeMello, Fatal Recall. I would have went Fatal Attraction there.
Oh.
Yeah. But good. Northwest Raider, Gone with the Autumn Wind. Kind of obvious. Go Blue, Silence of the Refs. If only. Not Raider enough. I see we were going there.
Right.
Not Raider
Right.
enough.
Right.
Let's just remind everybody that the refs kind of suck for all teams nowadays. So, I mean, I get Raider fans with the grudge against the refs, but that monkey's off our back. They suck all the time now. Gene Steratore, I see you. This is one of my favorites here. J.R. Pennington with Gannon Ball Run.
I was thinking about that one right before we started this segment too.
Were you?
Yeah,
That was
Get
in
the
your
Ball
head?
Run was in my head.
Also one of my favorite movies. The Mad Raider, Ray, the story of the only man to punt his way to Canton. That'd be a good movie.
Okay.
It'd be even better if Ray Guy was blind. That would be pretty cool. Hawaii Sean 808, another one of fellow Ramblers. 50 Shades of Silver and Black. This one hurts. Relocations 11. That one hurts. Snakes on a Team, starring Marquette King.
Let's go ahead and highlight that one.
That's a good one. El Duderino on Twitter, Kill Bill Belichick.
Okay.
All right. Kook, The Purge and Get Out, referring to JDR and crew from last year. Clever, but you did nothing with the titles. Clever. Family Oso, Family Bear, The Good, The Bad, and the Yosemite. You call my man ugly? That's a good one. Christopher Engelage, Anchorman, The Legend of Greg Papa. That would be an interesting documentary. DL, Things to Do in Denver, Kirkland When You're Dead. Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. It was a small film. It was a good film. I think it was Christopher Walken in that film. I think maybe.
I think so, yeah. I think so.
This is an interesting visual. Magic Mike Haynes.
Magic Mike Haynes. All right.
I'm going to go ahead and highlight that one. I don't know. Could be a dark horse. Eric came in with Tim Brown and Out in Beverly Hills and Beauty and the Beast mode.
Okay.
All right. Fell a little flat. It was funnier when I read it. It's not as funny now. Bo Schembechler Jackson from Pillaging Just for Fun from the website. Condocalypse Now. That's hard to say. He's not a big fan of John Condo, by the way. Jesus Raider Jim, Raiders of the Lost Mark. Again, we have that one. This one's good. Daniel Garcia with Saving Private Bryant.
Okay. All right.
I like that one.
I like that one.
And then we also had Saving Private Ryan Switzer.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good. And then I forgot who said that one. Jake Serb, Bruce Irvin Almighty, and Carlito's Way with Derek Carr in there. So let's go back over the highlighted.
Okay.
And then you're on the spot.
All right.
Super Coopers.
Uh-huh.
The Big Janikowski. Gandhi Asamoah. Flores Gump. Schraders of the Lost Ark. Marchand of the Dead. All of those were from Raider in England. Honey, I Sis Drunk the Kids. Cannonball Run. Snakes on a Team starring Marquette King. Magic Mike Haynes. And lastly, Saving Private Bryant.
Man. Damn. It's a tough one. This is not an easy choice, yo. This is not an easy choice. Run through those first ones real quick again.
All right, let's go through the first ones. Super Coopers.
Uh-huh.
And The Snake on the Plane. Actually, I forgot to mention that one again. The Big Janikowski. Gandhi Asamoah.
Okay.
Flores Gump. Tom Flores.
Yeah.
Schraders of the Lost Ark. And Marchand of the Dead.
Man.
What's top of the list?
Yeah.
Are you
I like Gandhi Awesome One.
Gandhi Asamoah, right? I feel like that one, it came out of left field.
Yeah, man.
Both the player and the movie. That was, I think, probably the most creative one. So, Raider in England, you win this week.
Yeah, I like Gandhi Awesome One, man. I like Schraders of the Lost Ark too. I also like the Snakes on the Team. Snake on the Team, starring Marquette King.
Yeah.
I like that, but Gandhi Awesome One, there's just something about that just makes me giggle, man. It just makes me giggle.
I can just picture Namdi in the role too. That's a hell of a visual. All right, Raider England. Make sure you email us, or actually you're on Twitter, so just message us. Give me your address, and I'll ship out that shirt. Give me your size too, and I'll ship that shirt out to you. Be patient; it might take a while to get it out there. It's going overseas as well, so give it some time. But yeah, you got a shirt coming on your way.
Yeah.
All right. And remind me to tweet that out after when we hit break, so he knows if he's not listening right now. So big winner chicken dinner. Yeah, man. That was cool.
That was good. That was good.
So like I said, this may not be a weekly segment. It's probably going to be like a monthly segment because I don't want to like run out of ideas.
Right.
And come with some weak ones.
True.
So
True.
Yeah, and if you got ideas, if you guys got ideas for hashtag challenges, send them at us.
Yeah.
Shay, send them at me.
Yeah.
I got some ideas right now. I got a list that we can run through, but send me your ideas because we'd run out of ideas real quick on these types of things. And
if you're ever wondering how to get me to pick if I'm the judge again at some point, humor is the way to get me, man. I'm all about the humor.
This is all about humor.
All about the humor, man. The funnier the better, man. That's all about it, man. That's what I'm all about.
Exactly. So you know what? It's about 8:30 right now. So I'm gonna get our guest up here.
Yeah.
And we'll hit that, and then we'll get Cain right after that, and then we'll hit the shout outs and we'll get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, boss. Let's take a quick break. We'll see you guys on the other side.
Peace.
All right, and we're back. Cain's Corner is going to come a little bit later in the show. We're just buying him some time. So I want everybody out there in YouTube land to give a warm welcome to our guest, Raider Roy.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Raider Roy, also known as my dad.
Okay, guys, I'd like to give a shout out to you and all your Raider Nation here, the Pillaging Podcast. And I feel honored to be on your show.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Dad's Day.
That's it.
Anyhow, I'd like to give a hoot to Kenny, Che, and Cain. I'm not forgetting about you. You're coming up a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, I'm glad to be here and give a little interview, some of my Raider things that's happened to me over the last 100 years. And, I've seen them in Oakland. I've seen them in L.A.
Yeah.
They're back in Oakland.
Yep. So let's get started with the interview, Dad. Let's get it going. This is my show, Dad.
All right. You sure you don't want to pick up a guitar and do some playing here? I'll do that. No, that's okay. Let's go.
That's what we should have set up the guitar.
We should have set up the
No,
guitar.
that's okay.
You can get out the acoustic right now. So those of you that don't know, well, I come from a musical family, and that tree starts with my grandfather, my dad's dad, who was a jazz drummer, my grandmother, who was an organist. And organ player, I should say, and then my father, who plays rhythm guitar and he does a great job with lead vocals. Been in several bands, and then my brother, who's a drummer, has actually been a drummer with you, Dad. I still never made the cut into their band. They weren't trying to do hip hop. I mean, what can I say?
Well, today's country music has a lot of hip hop artists in there, and they're doing quite well.
Yeah, today's country music's trash. So you and I can agree on that, Dad.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yep. What's your musical background, Dad? What's at the heart of your furnace that burns passionately for music? What's your comfort zone for music?
I like all music. I'm open to. I started out with folk music when I first came to California.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And Peter, Paul, and Mary, and Bob Dylan, and all those guys. And then I started going to bars and sitting in with country bands, and pretty soon they hired me.
Hey.
And then I started playing music. I met quite a few good musicians down the road, and we've switched our country when the old country was there. We were doing that, and then rock and roll was having a comeback, the 50s style rock and roll. So we got a band going, and we did all kinds of Little Richard and Chuck Berry and that kind of stuff. We did that for many, many, many years. And a little bit of classic rock in there too. We did some, ZZ Top and stuff like that, and blues and country. And that's why I say I like all music, all kinds of music, as long as there's no such thing as bad music. It's just that the guys that I go to my bucket club with every lunch on Thursdays, they always ask me, is there any type of music you don't like? And I just tell them no. There's some good and there's some bad in any kind of music. But
although you didn't really like NWA back in the day, I got to say you weren't a big fan of NWA or Public Enemy. It took a while for you to come around on the rap. I think you're still there. Yep. I got to say though that I think my music helped change your mind a little bit.
Yeah, I like MC Hammer, man. He was pretty good back in his day, and he's on my jukebox here. So
that's a cold take, Dad. That's a cold take. But let's get back to Raiders. Let's start at the very beginning. How did you become a Raiders fan? You're a transplant here in California. You're originally from Wisconsin. So how did your admission into Raider Nation come about?
Well, I went to work for a major paint company here in California. Don't want to mention the name because it's free advertising.
They're not a sponsor. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, right. Anyhow.
We can work that out, though.
And my first job I had when I came here, after about 6 months with the company, they promoted me, and guess where they sent me? They sent me to Oakland.
Okay.
So I went to Oakland, and here I am, a diehard Wisconsinite, and I'm in Oakland, right? And I'm a diehard Green Bay Packer fan. Well, I had quite a few good contractors that I met, and one guy's name was Clinton White. I'll never forget him. He kind of looked like Lincoln Kennedy. He was really huge, and I thought he played for the Raiders, but he didn't, but he was a big Raider fan. So anyhow, he'd come in, and he'd buy his paint, and we'd send him on the way, and then one day he comes in, and he goes, "Hey, Roy, you want to go to a Raider game?" I says, "Hey, Raider game? Hell no." And he goes, No, you got to come to see the Raiders." "Well, who are they playing?" He says, "Green Bay." I said, "I'll be there." So anyhow, we went in and we sat down. He said, "There's one thing I got to tell you, though. Don't wear any of that green and gold stuff." He says, "because you might find yourself in a little trouble here." So anyhow, I did, and I rolled along and played the cool way and sat there, and sure enough, Packers and Raiders come out. And the Packers are doing really well in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Oakland's down. And when halftime comes, it's 10-0. Clinton looks at me and says, "Get that grin off your face." He says, "because these Raider boys are going in there." And he says, "They're coming out fighting. You got a whole nother half." So okay, but it was Bart Starr and Ray Nitschke and all those guys from the Packers, and he says, well, just watch out for the second half. Third quarter, touchdown Raiders. Another way into the third quarter, touchdown Raiders. So they're ahead 14-10. I'm going, okay, you guys are just, and Clinton's just looking at me. He's going, oh my God, here we go. Yeah. Anyhow, so we're sitting there, and it goes into fourth quarter. The Packers make it kind of even again, not even, but they're still behind. And then the Raiders just put it in full gear. And I don't know what the score was, but they kicked Green Bay's butt. So anyhow, I sat there, and Clinton had this big grin on his face. He said, well, what do you think now? I said, we got a good team. He said, what do you mean we? I said, I'm a Raider fan now. So that's how it happened. So that's how I became a Raider fan. And, ever since then, that was 1964, I believe, something like that. And, yeah, I still have it. It's my homeboys are, I'm a diehard Raider fan, and they try to switch me to 49ers and friends of mine, and I stay with the Raiders the whole way. Mm-hmm. And even through all the in Oakland, going to L.A., coming back, and now we're going to Las Vegas. Hey, the Raiders are the Raiders. That's all there is to it. And if you're a Raider fan, you stick with them and hang in there, because we're going to have a damn good year. That's all I can say.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate you saying that about the Raiders. And Al said it himself. Once a Raider, always a Raider. Mm-hmm. Didn't qualify it as to where they are. It doesn't matter where they play. They're always going to be the Raider Nation.
That's it.
And you're hearing that from, early generation Raider fan right here.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. And before anybody jumps on my dad for switching teams, I call this the Coliseum effect.
It is. There's a definite effect of that Coliseum. I have a friend who's a Niner fan who's afraid to go watch a game. I've invited him. I'm like, hey man, just come check it out. You don't have to become a fan. You still be a Niner fan. It's all good. He's afraid to step foot in that Coliseum, man.
Yeah, because he knows.
Yeah.
I had a friend that was raised a Niner fan, and eventually at some point in his adult life was like, you know what? I was born into this. I never really got to make my choice. I'm not a big fan of the Niners, to be honest. Like the whole image and just sort of like their fan base, it's sort of annoying to me now. And so he was looking for a new team. He picked the Jets at that time. Mm-hmm. He actually asked me for my input. I was like, pick the Jets. Curtis Martin, Chad Pennington at that time. They were kind of like an underdog, dark horse team. Right. And then I took him to a Raiders-Jets game, and he's like, I'm a Raider fan now. Once he walked in and he saw the atmosphere and all that, if you're at all a little bit on the fence and you go to a Raiders game, it's a wrap.
Mm-hmm. That's it. You feel at home, man.
But to be fair, the Packers, you haven't given up on them. They're still your second team, right? Your NFC team.
Yeah, I have a lot of cousins and everything back in Wisconsin, and when I'm watching the Raiders, they're watching. The next game comes on when they're televised. The Packers will come on, I'll watch them, and sure enough, the phone will ring. It's my cousin Dick from Manitowoc, and he says, "Hey, how about that?" And he actually talking about my cousin Dick Revenel is his name, and he gave me a call last week, and he says, "I just want to tell you something. You're going to have a good team because we gave you Jordy Nelson." I'm going, you're right. And he says, I am so pissed at the Packers that they got rid of him and traded him or let him go and cut him. And he says, I'm happy that he's with the Raiders now because he's going to do you guys a lot of good. So there's a Packer fan who's patting me on the back because he knows I'm a Raider fan. Mm-hmm. And he knows I'm at heart down when, Raiders are my team. But he knows I still have a feeling for the Packers, and I do because they're a good team. Okay. But anyhow, that was really great. And then Clinton, I haven't seen him in years now. That's way back. That's back in the early days of my Oakland thing. So anyhow, Clinton, if you're listening to this, I'm still rooting for the Raiders.
All right. Yeah. There's no shame in rooting for Green Bay. They're a team that's as much a part of the NFL as the Raiders, as the Bears, as teams like the Steelers. Just so much of a storyline throughout the history of the NFL. And, of course, the Packers and Raiders, I think in Super Bowl II, right, the Packers got the best of that matchup. Yeah. So
Yeah.
You always got that to fall back on if you ever go back to Wisconsin.
Are you kidding me? I'm a Raider fan all the way.
That's
That's
what
right.
I was looking for.
That's right.
So what does it mean to you to be a Raiders fan? Everybody has their own definition of it. You know,
Well, it's camaraderie. I mean, anybody that's a Raider fan, they usually stick with the Raiders, and the ones that don't aren't real Raider fans.
Thank
anyhow.
you.
You know, and the thing is, I have friends that I worked with in Salinas.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, you talk about Raider fans, and then once in a while you get a Cowboy fan in there, and we kind of give them a bad time. We had a kid that worked with us too down in Salinas, but I think about 9 of us guys are Raider fans, and then there was a 49er fan, and he didn't last long. 49er fan, and then the Cowboy fan, and then the one guy I had to get a lot of credit to. He was a Kansas City, even though that's in our division.
yeah.
And we gave him a bad time. And, he says, I root for Kansas City. He says, but, if Kansas City can win, I hope the Raiders win. See, that's the kind of division we have.
Right.
And in my days, being a Raider fan, we took a lot of crap when we were pretty bad. And we were good, and we sucked for a lot of years, and then we got better. And I think right now, if everything works out with Gruden back, I think we're going to have a really good year. And I'm not going to be saying we're not going to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to go that far, but I'll make you a bet we make the playoffs. And I hope something happens that we do go to the Super Bowl, and we have a chance. I'm not saying, but I'm not going to get overconfident. If we get to the playoffs, we got another year here yet, and we're going to play a Super Bowl before we hit Vegas. I'll tell you that.
There we go. There we go. I like that take.
Absolutely. I like that too. By the way, Cowboys fans that live in Salinas have ulterior motives. That jersey color is no coincidence.
I know what you're talking about. I worked there. I worked in Salinas for 6 years, so I know it's red. It's red and blue. Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, what are some of your favorite memories as a Raider fan? I mean, you've experienced a lot of the ups and a lot of the downs. One of them's obviously got to be your first game at the Coliseum. But what are some of your other favorite memories of the Raiders?
Well, I had a real honor of meeting Jim Plunkett.
Tell me this story, because I love this story.
Okay, this story is I work for this paint company, and painter comes in. He says, we're doing a $200,000 add-on to a customer in Atherton. Mm-hmm. I'm going, okay. It's all solid redwood. Oh, great. But I've got a problem. Redwood has tannins in it. That's tannins, the reddish color.
Right.
Okay.
And when it's raw, it comes out.
Okay.
And then when the wood turns gray, then you put a sealer on it to get it back to the redwood. Well, somebody in our store said, put the sealer on and you're okay. Well, what does it do? It's a bleaching agent.
Mm.
So it makes this nice redwood $200,000 edition pink.
Oh, no.
And so the painter calls me. He says, we got to go take a look at that. And he says, you're going to be really surprised when you get there. I walk in there, and we're at Jim Plunkett's house. And here is a Super Bowl quarterback, and he's got a pink house.
Oh, it's a travesty.
That did not go over too well. So anyhow, we decided, we're going to fix this up for him. So I go back out on the job, and he says, well, we're going to take about a week to get this done. So they get it done, and I come riding in one day, and the office girl comes running out to me. She says, guess who's in the store? I says, no, who's in the store? She says, Jim Plunkett from the Raiders. I said, you got to be kidding me. She says, no. So I come walking in there, and the painter comes in, and I had a little laryngitis that day, and so I come walking in, and sure enough, there's Jim Plunkett standing there, and I go behind, and I want to introduce you to him. I said, and I can't hardly talk. And I'd like to meet you. I'm one of your, anyhow, he just kind of looked, and I looked at him. He had a big ring on his hand. Yeah. And I'm going, I know what you guys are all thinking. It wasn't a Super Bowl ring. It was a Stanford ring.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
He had a big old thing with a big S, and I said, Stanford, yeah. So he says, well, how are you doing? I says, well, yeah, I hope your house looks good. Yeah, it's coming along, and so I said, what are you doing here? Well, we're picking kind of the color. We're going to restain it to a little darker than it, this and that. I says, fine. So I said, I'm going to ask you a question. I said, I got to get your autograph. And he goes, that's not a stupid question. I'd love to give you my autograph. I said, come to my office. So we walk down my office, and he gets to my office, and all he sees is silver walls with black trim. He looks on my wall, and it's nothing but Raider memorabilia. And I felt about that big. I did not have a picture of Jim Plunkett on my wall.
Oof.
Oh.
And he just looks, he says, wow. But I had Willie Brown's poster when he got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
So I have it in my house yet, and I said to him, I said, well, it's a Raider thing. Would you autograph it anyhow? He said, sure. So he on Willie Brown's poster, he puts Stu Roy, Jim Plunkett. So anyhow, and I said, I got one more favor to ask you, Mr. Plunkett. And he says, his name's Jim. I said, okay, Jim. And he goes, the girls in the back accounting office want you to come back and see them and say hello. He says, yeah, I'm here. I'm available. Yeah, sure. I said, you don't want to go back there. He says, why? I said, they're all 49er fans. And he goes, I played for them. He went back there and he said hello to every one of them, signed about a dozen autographs that day. He came back out, and by that time the business thing was done. And as he was leaving the store, I was in my truck, and I blew the horn. And my van, I had a big van. I blew the horn, and there was a Raider plate on it. And I said, hey, Jim. And he goes in his BMW, this black BMW. And I says, look at the plate. And it was the Raiders. And he goes, all right, you come and see my house when it's completely done. I says, okay. So anyhow, time went by. Everything was done. The painter says, well, we got to go check it out now for good. So we walk over there. Jim, it's his off season. I think they were in L.A. at that time. So this is off season.
Right.
So he's there, you know, and we come walking in. He says, hey, nice to see you again, Roy. And I'm going, you remember my name? He says, well, sure. So anyhow, we go in there and we're talking. And then he says, you want to see how it came out? And I said, yeah, it looks beautiful. And I said, are you happy now with it? He says, yeah, very happy. You did a good job. And I, well, thank you. And he says, you want a tour of the house? I said, sure. So we walk down this hallway, and it's all enclosed in glass. Didn't he get drafted by the Dolphins, or was it the Patriots?
The Patriots, yeah.
Okay, the Patriots. In his display thing, he's got his Patriots uniform. Or, first one, I take that back. First one was his Stanford uniform.
Right.
Okay? And right next to his Stanford uniform, he has Heisman Trophy.
Oh, yeah.
Then it was the Patriots uniform.
Yeah.
Then it was the 49ers uniform. And then I'm looking, and I says, where's the Raider uniform?
Right.
He says, it's coming.
Right.
So anyhow, he had a lot of Raider memorabilia in there, too. And he had, I says, didn't you have 2 Super Bowls or just 1 Super Bowl in those days?
Two.
And I thought, well, where are your rings? He says, they're all locked up, believe me. They're not going to be in a display case. I said, fine. So let's go down to the den. You know, we went downstairs, and he had a nice pool hall, silver and black tile, and a nice pool table. The restroom had sterling silver faucets in that with Raider insignias.
Oh, wow.
So then he says, well, let's
That's
go out to the backyard. We went out the backyard. Big old swimming pool there with a Raider insignia in the center of the pool.
That's cool.
And I looked at him and I says, well, he says, I'm going to live and die with the Raiders. And he was hurt at that time. I forget. He got blindsided by somebody. He was out. I don't know what year that was. I think he was still hurt, but he was going. Well, who did he replace when he became the quarterback? Who was the
Pastorini?
Pastorini.
Yeah, Dan Pastorini.
Yeah, that gave him his big break, and he told me about that. And then, so that was really cool. And
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that story is there. And I have one more, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
Okay. A friend of mine is kind of a actor. You know, he does little shots with movies and that. So he comes into my office, and he sees I got a George Atkinson autograph on a picture.
Right.
But the picture has John Madden in it and Ray Guy. And he says, those are 2 guys that are hard to get autographs on. And I says, yeah, I know. I says, I'll never get Madden's. He says, I'm going to be doing an Ace commercial with him, Ace Hardware commercial. I said, you are? I'm going to be seeing him next week. Would you trust me with the picture? I said, by all means, you can get his autograph for me? He says, yeah. So anyhow, he takes it, and he comes back. He tells me the story. He says, I go up to the lady who was in his office, and Madden does not give autographs. unless he, in pub, but just stays away from when the advertising.
Right.
So the guy comes up, a good friend of mine, he works and he's a diehard Raider fan, and it would be really nice if Mr. Madden could sign that for him. Mm-hmm. The lady says, no. And so he kind of got a little hot with her, and said, well, come on, you can do something. And I guess John Madden heard it. Mm. So anyhow, this is what the fellow's telling me now. So John Madden goes, what's the problem here? He says, well, this guy's got a picture, and he wants your autograph, and he's a big Raider fan. And John looked at it. He says, and so she says, give me a pen. So the girl grabs and gives him a pen. He says, no, give me a Marks-a-Lot. So he gets one, and he signs to Roy John Madden. I come back, and I'm in seventh heaven. I thank this guy. I said, boy, now I need one more. I waited 3 years. It hung on my wall in my office. And I'm having lunch one day, and I'm in the San Jose Mercury News, and I'm reading the paper, and it says, at the big, what's that facility downtown?
The Civic Center?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're having a sports menu, and there's going to be people there for autographs. And I look, Ray Guy.
Yeah.
I said, all right. So I go down there, I spend my money, I get my ticket, but you have to buy something. Mm-hmm. You have to buy something.
Right.
So he can assign a round. There's a certain price for a round object, a certain price for a flat. I didn't buy anything. I just had this in manila envelope, and I come walking up, and the guy before me says, you can't have that. Did you buy that autograph? I says, no, I've had it for 3, 4, or 5 years now. So Ray Guy's sitting there, and he goes, let him come over here. I want to see the picture. So I go over there, and I says, hi, I'm one of your biggest fans. He says, I'm so glad that you're here. And I says, I've waited 3 to 4 years to find you at an autographing session, and here you are. And I showed him the picture, and he had these white shoes on. And he goes, look at Madden, and there's George Atkinson. And those white shoes, I never wore them son of a bitches again. He says, for one reason, I didn't play good that time, and those shoes left me. He says, I left them.
Wow.
So there's a story.
That's
and
cool.
Then I said, well, there's people waiting. He says, I'm glad you brought that picture. I haven't seen that picture in years. And I looked around, and I says, when are you going to make it to the Hall of Fame? And he says, well, you never know. I hope. So what do? And there's a big crowd, and they're all waiting. I stand up. Hey, everybody, chant with me. Ray Guy for the Hall of Fame. Ray Guy, Hall of Fame. And he just about cried, and he says, wow, that's great. You know what? He made it. Finally made it.
Finally, yep.
Finally made it. So that's my story with him. So, yeah, I've had some pretty exciting.
And you got the autograph.
I got his autograph.
And you got the autograph.
But he wouldn't sign. He wouldn't say to Roy. And I says, well, why? I said, George Atkinson did, Madden did. He says, those guys made a mistake. And he said, if you ever get an autograph, don't get it personalized.
Right.
He said, just have me sign it with my number. That's why I did it. He said, it's worth more money to you, be more valuable. I says, I ain't selling a damn thing.
No.
That's
Anyhow,
true.
it's hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
I
That's
said,
true.
So that's true. And you saw it down the stairs probably when you look on the mantle down there. It's there. It's hanging. So that's the other thing I had with Ray Guy. And then, of course, I'm a big Howie Long fan. And I liked Kenny Stabler and all those guys.
So who are your top 5 Raiders of all time?
Well, Ken Stabler, Long, Howie Long, Tim Brown. I like Steve Wisniewski because I met him in person one time. I had lunch with him and his kid at Randy Kirk's from the 49ers. They have a skeet shootout in Morgan Hill, and Wisniewski was there. And
so those are your 4. So one more.
One more, that's a hard one because I like Jim Otto. I've met Jim Otto, too.
Yeah, I know you're a big Jim Otto fan.
And just by the way, Jim Otto just had his successful surgery, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Shout out to Jim Otto.
Hope everything keeps going well.
Absolutely.
Well, he had his leg.
I think it was was it heart surgery? Was it heart surgery? No, it was.
I don't know.
It was. He had surgery recently. I just saw it on the news.
Well, he had bad legs. I think he had an amputation too, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But anyhow, and I saw him at the skeet shoot out there, and just a little story here. Anyhow, it was a deal where Randy Kirky, he lives in Morgan Hill, and he was with the 49ers, and all that. He was a long snapper for him for many years, and he was a big Raider fan when he was a guy. But he got drafted by the Niners. What can you say? So anyhow, but he enjoyed it there, and so he always got me tickets to go. And in fact, you went with me.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
We went to the 49er game together.
Oh, to the game, yeah, not to the skeet shoot.
No, to the game. We went. Those were Randy's tickets.
Yeah.
And he told me, I'm going to give you these 2 tickets because my wife don't want to go. These are tickets that are for the Raider fans and family, and 49er fans, family, and their wives.
Yeah, and we showed up in full Raiders gear.
Yes.
I like it.
And when he found that out, I never got another ticket.
Yeah, I bet you did it.
But anyhow, you remember that, right?
I do, yeah, I do.
And you know where we were sitting next to? We were sitting next to Bubba Parris's wife.
Oh, I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah. She was there, and then, but Randy was kind of cool with it.
I probably shouldn't have been shouting, Bubba Parris sucks!
No, but anyhow, that's another good Raider. There's all kinds of Raider stories, and it's just awesome that, we can all...
So that's a good list. You got 2 guys that are considered the ultimate Raider. You got Ken Stabler, who's considered like the ultimate Raider, and then some people, Jim Otto is the ultimate Raider. 2 of those guys.
Howie Long.
Howie Long.
And I like Tim Brown.
Tim Brown, too.
Yeah, I liked all the Raiders there, but, I was kind of a defensive guy. I liked Lincoln Kennedy. Oh, he's on offense, but I liked the lines of, and Lincoln Kennedy and Marv Hubbard was really good.
Oh, yeah, Marv Hubbard.
He was really good. He was at the deal doing it. And then I remember at the one auction they have a silent auction and a lot of Raider gear. That's how I got I always bought, bid on the Raider gear, a couple $100, and I got it, and it was Raider stuff, and people thought I was crazy, but I got it, and then I lined my walls with Raider. And it was a little expensive, but it went to a good cause. It was called Kirk's Kids, and it was for kids who had, cancer and that. So it was a really good deal.
My dad's such a diehard Raider fan. He's in his 70s.
Yeah.
But he plays Madden.
Yeah, he does.
On PlayStation 2.
Yes, he does.
Madden 2005. And he builds his entire roster out of historical and current Raiders. He uses accurate measurements, the numbers, everything. You program the whole roster yourself. That's correct?
Yeah, and I have a heck of a time when it comes to cap time too. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I bet.
I got to get rid of Derek Carr.
That hurts
in his 4th year. But then guess what I do? I redraft him and put him right back in there.
The clone. So those are some of your favorite all-time Raiders. Who's the ultimate Raider on this roster right now? The current roster.
Well, the ultimate Raider naturally is Derek Carr, but I think Khalil Mack's got to get signed, and we got to get him back in the family real fast. And we got a good coaching staff. And Gunnar, or whatever his name is, says he's going to have to read that playbook really fast. So I just hope he doesn't hold out. But Khalil Mack, I like, and I think I like to see Vanderdoos come around this year because I thought he was going to be better than he was, but last year he got a little hurt too. I think he was hurt. We had a lot of injuries. So I think between, the stuff we got coming in on defense, the new guys we got.
Hurst, Key, Hurst, Conley. Yeah. But Derek Carr, Derek Carr is definitely the face of this franchise.
Oh, no, without a doubt.
And Mack is the heart of this franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
That's fair to say?
I think so.
So let me ask you another question, Dad. Was it important for you that I became a Raiders fan?
I got a picture up in my vacation home of you guys, you and your brother Tim, and you both have Raider jackets on.
Yep.
And they was forced on because you guys.
No. You bought me that jacket for Christmas. Now, maybe Tim, my brother's not a big football fan, but he was kind of an outlaw, so I think he liked the jacket. That jacket was like one of my favorite things. Yeah. Even though I got teased going to school because it wasn't the best time for us, no. I still wore it proudly. Yeah. Right? We all did.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I got that picture. You got to be about, what, maybe 15?
Yeah, probably somewhere, maybe even a little younger, maybe like 13, 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were pretty young. And Tim's wearing it, you're wearing it, and we, I got the picture, and Tim had the bush, he had the
big old hair.
big old hair.
Big 80s hair.
And you had that nice little blonde, slick hair.
Yeah.
You were pretty cool,
I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
Looking like Jack Del Rio, man. Looking like Jack Del Rio.
Don't you put that on me, Jay.
But
anyhow,
that was Raider fans are just, it's awesome people. And, there's a lot of ones that, a lot of friends of mine that when the Raiders left the first time and went down to L.A., they jumped ship, And the minute they came back to Oakland, here's my friend saying, well, you're not getting back on ship, man. Once you jump, you're done. And I says, no, we're going to come back. And they came back, and some of them are still Raider fans, big Raider fans like myself. But,
So actually, now that you brought that up, because people ask me all the time, like, how did you become a Raider fan? And that story always starts with you. Initially, when I was younger, was really young. As small kids, mostly aren't into sports. They want to watch cartoons and stuff. But you would watch Raider games all the time. And then we had a VHS player, so you would play like taped games a lot. In the Super Bowl, you would play the Vikings Super Bowl. No, sorry, the Redskins and the Eagles Super Bowls.
Got them all.
And so I really got into that eventually, and then seeing the NFL films. When I would watch you play the tapes, and then eventually the NFL films features would come on, and I'd see the Raiders there, and I'd be like, that's what my dad's into. Wait a minute, these guys are kind of a big deal. And then, with the whole NFL films really, it brings you in, right? The mood,
yeah.
And then the attitude, and I started really buying in. And then when the Raiders returned to Oakland, you took the whole family to the game. That was my first ever not my first professional sporting event. I've been to some baseball games. My first football game, first Raiders game. And at that point, I was already a fan, but it was, solidified at that moment.
Yeah, it was.
We had good seats, too. He didn't skimp.
No, and your mom.
It's a good day.
Your mom even went, and we went with neighbors. I remember that, and the family came, and it was a family. But in those days, you could afford it.
Right.
And nowadays, it's kind of expensive, but money's minor. You want to go out there and watch a good team. Win or lose, Raiders are always exciting. They keep you on the edge of your seat.
It's true.
But I got a pacemaker because of them. But they live and
real talk.
They live and die. I live and die with the Raiders, and I'm telling you, I think that they're a good organization. I think we're going to be a lot better this year, and hopefully next year. I would say maybe this year Super Bowl, but I'm not going to get carried away. But next year for sure, if we get everybody in line and
got to win one for the town, right?
That's it, man.
You got to do it before we go to Vegas. But I don't mind them going to Vegas. I really don't. And people are probably going to shoot me right now, but I'm going to say something. What did Oakland do for them? Nothing.
Yeah,
they really didn't. And they came back for 15 years when Al was still alive, we're going to do something. They never did it.
Right. Yeah.
So
they've been screwing us over since the day we landed back in Oakland. What I wanted to say was thank you. I want to say Happy Father's Day, but you've given me two of the greatest gifts I have in life, and one of them is music, and the second one is the Raiders. And Che, those are like the only things we talk about.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have those things. So I really appreciate it, Dad. And
well, I want to say one more thing, and this goes to Mr. Cain. That's going to be coming on next. This Clinton White was also a big music fan, and I worked in Oakland right on Telegraph Avenue, and there was a lot of blues clubs downtown. And so Clinton comes up to me one day. He says, "You like music?" I said, dang well I like music. I like blues and that. And he says, "Well, I'm going to take you down to the club." He says, but you're going with me. And I said, okay. So we walk into his place, and
was Cain there?
No, Cain wasn't there, but I'll tell you who was. Clinton came in, and he says, "I'm a bouncer here." Got me the best seat. I was married at the time. Got me the best seat.
Let me guess. You're the only white guy in this club.
I didn't want to say that yet. Okay. But anyhow, so we go up and we sit right down in the front seat, and Clinton looks at the waitresses that treat these people right. They're good. And you never guess who I broke into the blues with was Ike and Tina Turner.
Oh, wow.
And I sat there, and this is when they first came out, and they were doing all those really great songs that she did. And Ike was really a good guitar player. He wasn't too much of a family man, but he was
Well put.
Well, yeah. But anyhow, he was partly reason for her to come along like that way. And she looked down on us, and she saw we were the only 2 white people in the place.
Yeah.
And she kind of just went, in between her songs, she kind of looked at me, are you crazy? I says, no, we're doing fine. And then so Clinton says, we're going to go back and you're going to meet her. I says, okay. Backstage, the thing was all over, so we go back there and he introduces us, and I said, you really put on a great show. I'm a blues fan. I like all music, but you really put on a good show. And she says, I looked down there, she said, at you, and she says, I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you. I says, what's that, Tina? And she says, I'm going to give you tickets to go to the Oakland Coliseum. I said, yeah. She says, I'm going to be there tomorrow night, and this is the whole show is going to be different. This is formulated more towards the pop end of it. He says, and she just kind of grinned at me. She says, don't mind me saying it's going to be a lot of white folks at that show.
at the Oakland Arena, you mean?
Yeah, the arena.
Yeah.
So we went there, and she gave us tickets there, and then she's well, thank you for coming, and that was Clinton. He was so cool. But anyhow,
cool.
that's my one music story.
But as I was saying, I just wanted to thank you for those 2 things because they're big parts of my life. And it's Father's Day tomorrow, so I wanted to wish both of you guys a happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Yes, happy Father's Day, Roy.
Happy Father's Day, Jay, and happy Father's Day, son.
Thank you, and I got you guys a little gift.
Man,
so if you will.
Yeah. Thank you, brother.
Two of the best Raider dads in the business deserve a nice gift. Go ahead, open your gift. Open it up. I'll have your card tomorrow. You can open a card tomorrow, but you're gonna want to wear that tomorrow. So, spoiler alert.
Let's see.
Hope it's the right size, guys. We got a little gift unveil right now for those of you guys listening along. If you want to see what it is,
hey, it's silver.
Tune into YouTube. Yeah, I got the silver and black gift bags.
Silver and black.
The silver tissue paper. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there you go. Oh yeah. YouTube, got to see this right here. This is what every father should have right here.
Yeah, move it over here a little bit. There you go. Yeah, you guys could be twinsies now.
Dang.
Yeah, best says.
I like the old school emblem too, man.
The old school, exactly.
I like that.
Best dad ever. It says, and the A is a giant Raider shield. So that's for you, Dad. I want you to wear that proudly.
I'll wear that proudly. You better believe it. Thank you so much. That's cool.
We'll be queuing it up
Happy
tomorrow.
Father's Day.
Thank you.
Happy Father's Day, brother.
Thank you,
man.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. I guess I raised you right, didn't
I think you did all right. But it was great. We got to have you back on here maybe during the regular season. Maybe have a little Roy's Corner.
Yeah.
A little segment for you. Come back on here.
Well, every time I go out, I go to lunch on Bucket Club every time, and you told me I told you the little story once. You told it on air, and I got a bunch of your cards, and like I say, I wear the shirt sometimes, and in fact, one of the guys says, "You're wearing that shirt again." I said, "Well, yeah." I said, I said, "You want a card? Listen to this podcast." So I keep handing them out, and people, they're I go to Kelly Moore. A lot of there I said it, Kelly Moore Paint Company. That's how we're. Hey, Mr. Moore, I know where you're at, but now you got to donate. So anyhow, it was really great. So
yeah.
All right.
I want to thank you guys, and I'm interested in hearing Cain talk this time. Your podcasts are awesome.
Thank you.
I keep promoting them, and I'll tell you one thing. I hope you guys get to the big time. You quit your day job, and you can do this thing for a living. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be fantastic.
That would be great.
That would be.
But in the meantime, I'm not quitting that day job. And
well, just like my father always said, and he was a musician in the family. He says, "Play your music with your heart and with your soul, but never give up your day job."
Yeah.
He said, because the one job you're doing when you're on that stage and you're playing music, he says, that's your fun.
Yeah.
then you got to work and make some money.
Yeah. Well, speaking of working and speaking of sponsorships, it's time for us to pay some bills, and we're gonna get out of here. We'll be right back with Cain's Corner, sponsored every week by NFLShop.com. Thanks for coming on the podcast, Dad.
Thank you, Roy.
My pleasure, Che. My pleasure, Kenny. And Cain, I'm looking forward to you.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Happy Father's Day, everybody.
All right, we're back with Cain's Corner, brought to you every week by NFLShop.com. Make sure you go to PJ4F.com and click through the NFL Shop banner. That banner is on your right-hand side on desktop. Scroll all the way to the bottom if you're on mobile. And without further ado, we welcome Raider Cain.
Yeah.
How you doing?
What's up?
What's up? What's going on, man? Happy early Father's Day to you.
Yeah.
And same to you, too. Same to y'all, too. Happy Father's Day.
Thank
to
you.
some awesome dads.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing it. It's the dad
Some great dads, man. Some Raider dads, man.
dad club up in here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got some time with the kids today. I heard you guys went out to Great America. Did you guys win any 49er season passes out there?
No, but I did. I had to throw my dig in there because my stepson was like, yeah, so what they do here when there ain't no football? I was like, I don't know, I don't care about this stadium. And then he was like, oh, that's because you're not a Niner fan. Well, I hate the Niners too, but I was just wondering what they do. And I was just like, 'cause I had to throw that dig in there, man, because the Niner fans be out there at the stadium. They be out there tailgating at Great America like they're at a football game, chilling. You know what I'm saying? That should be tripping me out. I'm like, man, who tailgate at Great America? You know what I'm saying? They be doing the damn thing, though. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they got nothing else to look forward to. So I heard Jimmy G is really shitting the bed in mini camps, too.
Wow.
Yeah, his accuracy's all off, having problems with the snap count, throwing picks. It was bad. He even went to the podium and was like, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Yeah,
really?
it's bad right now.
Really?
Yeah. So the second coming of Jimmy Jesus Garoppolo.
So the honeymoon is over.
It's over, bro. It's over. We'll
It's
see.
over. That was a quick little marriage, too, man. You know what I'm saying?
I keep reminding and we're going to talk about this in the ICU segment, but I got to keep reminding Niner fans that they still don't have an offensive line, and they still don't have a guy to run the ball. Maybe the guy steps up and it's all good, but I don't know, man. I don't know that Jimmy G is going to just be the end-all, be-all answer to all your prayers. I don't know. But we're not here to talk about the Niners. We're here to talk
I was just going to say, I don't even want to waste my segment talking about this fool, man. Let him move.
So from last week, we had one of our viewers on YouTube. He wanted to ask you a question. He said he wants to know if you could add any one Raider great to this year's team, who would it be? Would it be Bo Jackson, Howie Long, or Tim Brown?
Bo Jackson, hands down.
Thank you. We said the same thing. This is a one-man wrecking crew. Bo Jackson beat your whole team.
Yep. Tecmo Bowl, watch it. Go play that shit.
That's it.
See how it happens.
That's an easy answer. We're going to move on. We're moving on. Easy answer. I see a lot of folks trying to take their trip to Mecca for the first time. What I'm talking about is Oakland Coliseum. They want to visit and see what the Oakland experience is all about before the team departs for Vegas. And you probably get these questions a lot too. I get them on Twitter. I get them on Reddit. But they're always asking, like, what are your tips for seeing a game? How do I make my game day experience the best one? What section do I sit in? What's up with the tailgates? Where do I stay? Where do I go for nightlife? If you can help answer some of these questions as an Oakland native, as an Oakland vet, Cain, what's your ideal Raiders experience for somebody coming in from out of town? They're going to get one shot to see this thing. How would you do it?
Well, I guess if you you talking about just game day experience or weekend experience?
Let's start with the game day experience. Let's start there, because that's
okay. Well, first of all, you got to hit a tailgate. You got to come if it's your first time. You got to go to Raiderville. and that's in the north lot. And then you gotta come to the south lot where we at, man, and check out a tailgate. You know, any pick one. They all look lit up. You know what I'm saying? When you out there, I mean, every last tailgate from Spanish, Mexican to Filipino, black, everybody there. Just take your pick. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all kind of music, all kind of music. You know, so it's an experience you definitely want to experience the tailgate. Yeah. As far as where to sit, if you ain't never been to a game and you want to experience the game full on force, I say sit in section 105. That's the black hole, and you want to get row 1, 2, maybe 1 or 2, and be right down there where like the Violator and Howie and all those guys are, like in that first couple rows. Mm-hmm. I sat in the black hole for my first, from like 96 to like 2002, and I sat in like section 105, and it was one of my best experiences. I had a really good time. I mean, I grew with people. The fans are the same. You know, you get people coming back, grandparents, brothers, cousins. I mean, it's like a big family down there. So that's a place you definitely want to check out. You definitely want to sit. And after that, man, just yell your head off and just have a good time, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, people ask me all the time where to stay, and I'm like, well, it depends on what you're going to do. I mean, if you're just going to the game, you can stay at that Comfort Inn right there in Hagenberger. It's a little shady, but if you're just trying to like be close to the stadium, just do that.
If you want to avoid traffic and driving, for sure, right?
Because you can literally just walk up to the stadium from there. A lot of people say to take BART in, and I'm not a big fan of the BART experience. It's cool when you're coming in and everyone's hyped up, but once that hangover's already set in and you're on that bridge and everyone's trying to get on the BART at the same time, and it's like 5 o'clock and everyone's sweaty and they got that beer breath and the stale cigarette smell and everyone's packed in like sardines, you just want to get home.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm
talking about claustrophobic. Yeah.
I'd rather just pay the $35 to $40 for parking. I got my little parking spot. I'm not going to tell you where it's at because it's a hidden gem. But
it's a little cutty spot.
I would say just try to get yourself a parking pass or just park in overflow. Just take the ride in, rent a car.
Or you can park in BART for $20. That's where I've been parking since I've been going for. Yeah. Or you can. Well, I ain't gonna tell you too much more than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But park at BART though. $20. It's all good.
$20. You're right there. It's literally across the street. You got to kind of fight your way across the bridge, but it's better than trying to fight your way on that train. So.
True.
If you had to pick out a place for nightlife, would you recommend people go to like Jack London Square? Where would you send people for Oakland nightlife?
The night before the Raider game, Oaklanders usually have something going on.
Yeah, that's right.
Down there, some Raider vibes, or even Ricky's. Ricky's is starting to get back into the mode, especially with John Gruden being out. They're gonna, be doing little things on Saturday nights too.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Those are two spots you want to check out. You know.
Yeah, Ricky's, man, it's like a little shrine for the Raiders. Do yourself a favor and head out to San Leandro and go check out Ricky's Sports Bar. If you're just in town, definitely check that out. They got their little Raider Hall of Fame in there. You may see some former players roll through there. You never know who's going to pop into Ricky's. And Cain's right. Now with John Gruden back in town, John Gruden and Ricky's Sports Bar, they got a relationship. And where Gruden goes, other people follow. And there was a time, there was a radio station called the Ticket 1050, and they would broadcast out of there too. Pre-games and away games they would do there. Now, it might be us there this year.
Hey, you never know.
We've been talking to Ricky's, and they said to come through. So we may be doing some away game broadcasts from Ricky's Sports Bar this year too. So, but yeah, if you're in town, I think that's a good call. And then Oaklandish, that's definitely a good call. Find them on Twitter or Facebook, and just find out where they're going to be at, because it's going to be popping there too. You probably see some vets out there. You might catch Lincoln Kennedy out there, somebody like that. So.
Yeah.
And you know what else you can hit is Mob Alley on 66 Avenue. Mob Alley. They start on Friday and they go until game time, and so you go check those guys out too.
And they go hard. That's not for the
faint of heart.
Yeah, that's not for the faint of heart. Don't bring your little 8-year-old princess over there.
Not at night, at least. No. Daytime, they usually have some stuff going for the kids.
Sure.
It's pretty kid friendly for the, but at the nighttime is when it gets a little bit. And I ain't gonna say rowdy, but people we Raider fans, man. It's what we do.
You've worked, so they've worked their way through half of all the ice chests, and the kids are kind of going away, and it's adult time, man. And we're not. These aren't bad people. It's adult swim after dark is what it is. So just keep the kids out of the pool, go cut loose, have yourself a good time. But yeah, man, that's a good game day experience right there. And I think you nailed it with the tailgate. Like, just show up. Even if, like, you swing by the liquor store, or there's actually Mi Pueblo back there in that neighborhood, which we found. Just go get yourself, like, a 12-pack or 24-pack and just bring that with you into the tailgate. And then now you got some trade ammo. Yeah. At least you're bringing something to the tailgate, or get yourself, like, a pack of sausages, something real simple. Just be like, yo, I'm out of town. I'm just looking to kick it. Like, if we can borrow your grill, they'll bring you right in. They'll make you right at home.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Raider Nation's all about that experience, all about that vibe. So, yeah, man.
And then if you have any issue, just tell them the Pillaging Podcast sent you.
That's it. Tell them, Cain, send me over here. We got you, fam. Say no more. Say no more.
That's right. Hey, they do the tailgate challenge every year too.
Oh,
so if you happen to show up on that particular weekend when the NFL is out there, and that tailgate challenge, man, it was some pretty nice tailgates out there last year and the year before too. Yeah,
they show out for that tailgate competition. I mean, we're talking live bands, they go all out. It's wild. There's the Bad Boys of Barbecue. People say go check them out. They're good. I've had their barbecue at the Garlic Festival, but I try to avoid them on tailgate days because it's just everybody's over there.
Right.
They say all you can eat barbecue, and nothing bad on them. It's not their fault that hundreds of people like descend upon their tailgate. But you pay your little money for the barbecue, and then they dump it out on the table, and people are at that like quick. It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. Like swipe.
Yeah, and their ribs are good. Yeah. In fact, I think 2 years ago, the Garlic Festival started their rib cook-off, and they were there. In my opinion, they got robbed. I thought they had one of the better queues going out there. But another question.
Join us. You know that, bro. Yeah. We gotta promote our tailgate.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Hawaiian Raider and his crew. Where we tailgate with them.
Yeah.
That tailgate is off the hook too. If you want to get with some diehard Raider fans that's knowledgeable in football and knowledgeable in alcohol and knowledgeable in marijuana, you know what I'm saying? Show up to our tailgate because we real knowledgeable in everything Raider.
All kinds of knowledge going on in that tailgate.
That's Raider University right there.
Yeah.
We're usually in the D lot somewhere between rows 11 and 16-ish, and that's in the north lot. Just outside of Oracle Arena, and then you have I think it's like 5 to 7 cars wide, that tailgate, because they show out. They got a fry station, they got a breakfast station, they got a seafood station, they got a grill station, and then when Cain comes through, they got a gumbo station.
There you go.
Fire.
There you go.
And of course, they got the little bar out there, and occasionally they got their own DJ out there. And how long have they been doing that? I want to say they've been out there at least 10 years, right, Cain?
Over 10 years.
Yeah. So definitely get out there, get yourself some lumpia.
Hell yeah.
A bagel with lox. They got ribs. They got the hot links jumping off. Sometimes they got chicken out. It's just anything that you want to eat is there. Everyone's bringing beer. All the coolers are stocked.
Always.
Shout out to our boy Dutch Raiders, always bringing something fancy. He's got some new champagne. He's got some new microbrew he wants to show us. He's got
he walk on the set with Safeway bags full of shit. We got to give him a shout out. Yeah, we got to definitely give him a shout out.
Yeah, and Dutch Raiders coming all the way from the North Bay, like out by Petaluma, Lagunitas area, every morning out there. So, yeah, he's coming through. Sometimes he's a little late, but he's always on time with the alcohol. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right around alcohol o'clock.
Yeah. So, so let's get to some more pointed questions here. So, Rod Woodson was back up in the media today.
Yes, he was.
And he claimed that Conley had a vitamin D deficiency. I thought about this for a while. I came up with a very pointed and astute question for you, Cain. What the fuck does Rod Woodson know about vitamin D deficiency?
Unless he Dr. Rod Woodson, I couldn't even begin to tell you, bro. Unless he added doctor to his name, it sounded like to me Rod Woodson, and I thought about this. You know, okay, yeah, he gave him a little praise. He said the kid was gonna be out of this world. He gonna be good. You know, he praised him. But for the life of me, is Rod Wilson hating because you got fired and didn't get offered a job back? Nigga, I don't understand. What's your issue? But is there a little bit of hatred going on, man? Because you keep dropping bombs. You know what I'm saying? Every little chance you get, you dropping bombs like. But you ain't got a job offer from nobody else, though, homie. You know what I'm saying? So what? You got your shit don't smell like roses. You know what I'm saying? But you dropping bombs though, and then now you want to drop a bomb on this kid, put this on him. Now he gonna get bugged on Twitter. You know, joke, man. Why would you do that? It sounds like to me it's just a little bit of hatred going on, and like I said. You got fired, move on, keep the Raiders out your mouth. You're messing up your legacy with the Raiders. I once respected you for the one little play you did when you brought our ship back to life. Yep. You know, and I'm not even going to bring up, you don't even deserve me to mention the play right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep your play out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? And you keep the Raiders out your mouth. Please do that for me.
If you lean in closely on the video, you can see little white spots on his collar and shoulders. And someone was like, "What is that dandruff?" I was like, "Nah, bro, it's salt. Motherfucker's salty." Salt.
Yeah, that's right. Something, man. But anyway, yeah.
So I very much doubt that a lack of milk was Conley's problem last year.
You need milk.
Don't try to diminish this kid's injury, man. It was for real, but something that is really serious or could be serious right now. Should Raider Nation be concerned about this Martavis Bryant situation? Now, I said early on in the show that the best way to make this go away is to stop talking about it, but the buck stops here with Raider Cain. He's going to be the last word on this on our show.
Final word.
Unless this drags on, which we hope it doesn't. But Cain, should Raider Nation be worried about this, or is this just all smokescreen? What's, in your opinion, is this something to be worried about?
Oh, that's a good question. The NFL, if okay, who actually said Martavis Bryant? And if I'm not mistaken, this came from New York, from Park Avenue.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Well, I would be a little concerned. I'm not gonna say worried, biting my nails worried, but I'm saying I'll be a little concerned because Park Avenue, you know, they don't talk about suspensions, but they don't expect on doling out. So I mean, you know, if he was in a drug program and you miss a drug test, that is grounds for failure. You know what I mean? So if he actually missed a scheduled test that he was supposed to be at, I'll be a little concerned. You know what I mean? And that's a year coming down the pipe. I mean, I'm just saying. Now, I'm not hating and saying that that's going to happen. I'm just saying if Park Avenue is saying something about it, this ain't just speculation. This is coming from the people that's doling out the suspension.
Right.
So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So if it's coming from there, it's got some weight. How much weight? We'll soon find out. Remember when Darrell Russell got suspended back in the day? I don't know. Some of the listeners are young. You know what I'm saying? But most of the OGs out there, remember when Darrell Russell got suspended? He went to camp and everything. He was at camp for like 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, you didn't see him no more. He got suspended. Nobody said nothing. Yeah. When Charles Woodson got suspended, nobody said nothing until the day of the suspension. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So this is the new age of shit getting leaked out in social media and this and that. Right. So it just ramped up a little bit. So it got out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you heard something about it. So all I can say is you can be a little bit concerned. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's concerning considering also what we did to get that guy. I mean, it's
true.
You know, the wheeling and dealing that went down on draft day, that's basically now a vaporized draft pick if he were to get suspended, because that could be the end of Martavis's career at that point. But we hope the best for him. I mean, some of the teammates, I forgot who it was that tweeted it out, said that, you know, he's been on his best behavior. He's been a solid teammate. He's been working hard. So if that's
Darrell Russell too. Darrell Russell was too, bro. Yeah, and he got suspended. So I'm just saying, this is the only last time I know a Raider to get suspended. So I'm just using him as rest in peace, Darrell Russell. I'm just using you as an example, my brother, not trying to knock your legacy. I'm just saying.
Right. No, but it's a good example. It's a very good example. So, I mean, and this could have came from something that happened, prior to OTAs or minicamp starting. This could be a lingering thing. We don't know. But just fingers crossed for the dude. We gave him a second chance. From my line of work, I'm all about second chances.
Yeah.
And, I just want to see this guy shine in a new space, in a new start. And if this is just some hiccup or some like technicality, I really hope that they don't just snare this guy over some T not being crossed or I not being dotted or something like that. But, if he missed a test him right now, man. Test him right now.
Right.
Well, let me ask you a question, fellas.
Yeah.
When have you ever heard the Park Avenue said somebody getting suspended and it didn't happen?
Yeah, I've never heard that. I've never heard that, bro.
Yeah.
Never once. But
not even Elliott. He held out and did this, went to court, did that, sang songs and danced, jumped up and down, did jumping jacks, and guess what? At the end of the day, your ass got suspended for 6 games.
I never seen.
You know what I'm saying? So
I never seen anybody fight it so hard as Elliott did.
That's true.
Like you said, Cain, he jumped through every hoop he had to. Still got him.
Stood on his hands, walked on his hands, everything you possibly could do, he did it, and you still got 6 games.
Yeah.
So this commissioner likes to suspend people, and you missed. Hey, wow, man, it's sad, man, because that's a third round. Like I said, I don't even want to. We'll see. I'm concerned.
Paging Marcel Aitman to the white courtesy phone. Marcel Aitman to the white courtesy phone. Your services are needed. Well, let's hope for the best. Like you said, not once in the history of the NFL have I heard somebody might get suspended and they don't, unless they play for the New England Patriots.
And even he got suspended for 4 games. No one's beneath this man's suspension.
Right.
No one's beneath this, but this man suspends people, and this is what happens. So we'll see, man.
So, I'm sorry. I was wanted to say that there's another question from one of our viewers. This question came from Ice Cold Honky. You know him. We all know him well. He's our resident troll. But it's a pretty good question. It kind of feels like a setup. So I'm going to ask you this. Which would be more successful? A Hall of Fame coach with a below average team or a below average coach with a Hall of Fame team?
Oh, that's a good question. Because you need a steady answer. You need a steady of both. But if you had to choose one over the other one, I would say I would take my Hall of Fame team over and with a mediocre coach, because I'm going to say that the Hall of Fame team can almost coach themselves.
Okay.
I like that.
That's fair enough. I'm just going to play devil's advocate. I don't necessarily disagree with you, because I do think this answer can go both ways. When you look back, Hall of Fame head coach John Madden, he had a team loaded with talent, but at that time, we didn't know those guys were Hall of Famers.
True.
A lot of those guys were cast-offs, and he took that team and he gelled them together to make them, what they were. Not a dynasty in terms of championships, but definitely a dynasty in terms of just win percentage and being a factor every year. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying this is a good question, and it could go either way. And people are actually, not to really kind of go off on a basketball tangent, but people are saying the same thing about the Warriors. Hell, Kerr almost said it himself this year. He's like, I don't even know how to coach these guys anymore. You know what I mean? Because you saw them late in the year, they just started slumping. They were bored and apathetic, and it's like, what can I say to these guys?
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
So,
yeah, he even tried letting them coach a game. Iguodala was the head coach for a game. I mean, so you like I said, I'm gonna take my Hall of Fame team and with a mediocre coach, because I'm gonna say, and bless his soul and bless his heart, but I'm gonna say Tom Flores was a mediocre coach. Y'all can get mad at me if you want to. You know what I'm saying? But I'm unless you my age out there, listeners, don't even try to argue with me, because I saw him coach and I saw him play, and I saw when he left, and I saw what happened in Seattle. So I'm just saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just saying he had the talent, he had the players. He had John Madden's team with a few additives, Marcus Allen, Howie Long to be the 2 additives. You know what I'm saying?
That's big help right there.
When you got a good team and a just so good coach, good enough to just good enough, you can win games. Now put like they did, put him on Seattle that didn't have that much talent, and what did he do there? I think he made the playoffs once.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, so, it is what it is, and I love Tom Flores. I shake his hand, and I tell him I said this in his face. I'm just because it's a point that you got to make when you're asking this question.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
It's a good question, Honky. I'm interested to see what your follow-up question is because I know there will be one.
It's got them loaded questions.
But that's a good answer, Cain. That's a really good answer. Both came at brave, and you backed it up. I think that's the most important thing. It wasn't just a hot take. You backed that thing up. So Father's Day is amongst us. A lot of people will listen to this show maybe tomorrow on Father's Day or after Father's Day will have passed. I think the best gift any father can get on Father's Day is simply time with their children. I think if you ask any dad what they want for Father's Day, I just want to be with my family, right?
Yep.
What's the worst Father's Day gift you may have ever gotten, Cain? And I don't want you to hurt anybody's feelings. That's not the intention of this, but Father's Day gifts, there's some stinkers out there.
There is, man.
And it's an opportunity for a joke. Have you ever gotten a Father's Day gift and you thought you might have appreciated it? It's sentimental, but in the back of your mind, maybe you were like, what the hell is this? It's a flip-flop spatula?
You know what? And this is cold because like Trick Daddy say, Trick love the kids. But I gotta throw. I'm sorry, I gotta throw my daughter. My daughter was probably, I don't know. So this is, she was about 5, 6 years old. And the daycare, they did some little coffee cups, which, they let the kids write on the coffee cups and this and that. And, I looked at some of the other kids in her little class, and they was kind of creative. They had little faces, would try to draw their dad on there. My daughter scribbled like, scribble, 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 scribble. And that's it. Matter of fact, I'm going to take a picture of the cup and post it on Twitter when I hang up from here because I still got the cup sitting on my desk.
Okay.
So it's like, I got it and I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, okay, thank you, baby. You did a good job. You know what I'm saying? And her mama was so proud, like, look what she did, Marcellus. No, man. It's okay, thank you. But I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, I'm going to keep this forever and I'm going to show you what you gave me when you turn 18. So you can say, what the fuck is this? Like this you.
Oh, man. I mean, it's an adorable gift, but at the same time, you're not wrong. And no disrespect, right? But, yeah.
Yeah. Man, it is what it is. That's why I love my daughter. But I'm just saying that was one of those what the fuck is this day moments. Yeah.
I got a picture once with a bunch of like macaroni pasted to it, and I was like, "This is cool," but this ain't even gonna last like 3 months.
Right? Thanks.
Your time's coming, Che.
I know, it's coming,
and you'll appreciate it just like Cain appreciated that mug. But in the back of your head, you can be like, "What the fuck is this?"
I'll appreciate everything, man. I appreciate it.
But they also got these wild like gadgets for dads. Like they think we need all these like 3-in-1 gadgets.
Yeah,
it's like a spatula, flip flop.
I ain't about to go on Naked and Afraid, man.
No,
you know what I mean. I don't need no survival gear, man. The apocalypse isn't upon us. Like,
get one of those hats with the fan built into it.
Oh man.
Like
no, that's something that I'll draw the line at. You ain't gonna be dressing me up like an idiot, man. You ain't gonna be for Father's Day trying to make me look like a goddamn fool, man. Come on now.
I also got a triple XL shirt one year, and I was like, what? I think this is your size. And I was like, this is not even close. I'm a large.
What the fuck is these 3X's?
I don't know, man. But yeah, man, Cain, what are you doing for Father's Day tomorrow? What's the plan tomorrow? You gonna be chilling?
Yeah, I did pretty much my day to day. So I might go through and just say what's up to my kids because I'm a single dad, so yeah. I might stop over there and say what's up.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? But other than that, we spent the whole day together today. And we had a real good time. I posted some of the videos on Twitter just of me and the kids having a little fun.
I gotta check that out.
Because I got to be at work at like 6 o'clock in the morning on Monday, so I'm not. Sundays, I try to, get my laundry done and get ready for my work week.
I hear you.
So yeah.
That's cool, man. I envy you guys. I don't get to see my daughter this Father's Day. Missed one with her last year. Things are kind of weird. She's growing up, so like she spent all summer with her dad. that's not really the case anymore. But, when you don't get to see your kids a lot, every day is Father's Day. And that's just kind of how I'm approaching it. But I'm going to be with family tomorrow. I'll get to be with my dad, which is cool. I'll get to be with my brother, who's an awesome dad, and the rest of the family out there. So I'll make the most out of it, and I'll just bide my time and wait till I get together with my sweetheart, and it'll be cool.
Man.
It'll be cool. But, man.
There you go, brother. There you go.
Thanks for coming on. I know you had a long day out there, Great America, dealing with the general public, which can give me a headache every single time I'm out there.
Oh, my goodness. People, I notice people are so rude nowadays that it's just unrealistic. I mean, this world has what this world has come to, and what sucks is the kids, the people that's coming up in this world. They didn't see the 70s. They didn't see like when you had to respect your elders, that you get the shit slapped out of you if you talk to the neighbors any kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they'll slap your ass and take you home and tell your mama they slapped your ass, and she'll slap your ass for talking shit to the neighbor and having the neighbor have to come over there and waste her time. I mean, I'm just saying these it just sucks because these kids you can only tell them stories. You know what I'm saying? So our generation, I would say, if you was born after 1976. You know what I'm saying? You the last of the grandmamas. You the last of the generation that had a grandmama. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That was a real grandma. That'll whoop your ass. That'll send your ass outside to get some switches off the trees and tear your ass up. You know what I'm saying? And make you mind and respect your parents and the rest of and even just the normal Joe up and down the street.
Just adults,
and the shit that these people do nowadays, it just make you want to sock somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm serious, and I'm real short-tempered. You know what I'm saying? So, I have to literally keep my mouth shut because I just, you feel like when somebody do something to you, it's like, did you just punk me? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you feel punked. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, see, this is how shit happens. You know what I'm saying? So it's this generation, because back in the day, it wouldn't have went down like that. You know what I'm saying? So when you're out in the public and you out, it's stressful. And when you're standing in lines all day, you know what I'm saying? And you got to muscle your way through shit, and it's stressful, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
My mom would backhand me with the ring hand in line, in the checkout line at the store. No shame. We need to bring our moms back out here and just beat the shit out of everybody.
That's it.
I was in line the other day at Food Max over on the east side, and lady in front of me, I'm at the checkout stand, and she's got the whole belt is empty, right? I'm trying to get my stuff on there.
Right.
And she's on her phone, and I'm trying to get the little divider thing.
Right.
And I reach up, and I kind of lightly brushed up against her, and she's like, "Excuse me, I would have got it for you." I'm like, "But you didn't."
You didn't, right?
And she's like, "And I won't." And I'm like, "Well, here we are again." And then she's all, "Hit me again and see what happens." I was like, "I didn't hit you." I was like, "You know what, man? Have a good day." She's like, "I don't want one. I don't want to have a nice day." And I said, "Well, so far you're off to a good start." And that was it.
People are fucking crazy, yo. Come on, man.
Yeah.
People are crazy, yo.
But anyways, brother, enjoy your Sunday, man. Get some nice rest and relaxation. I'm glad you had a great time with the kids today, man. And we'll holler at you next week. It looks like we might have a little barbecue on the horizon.
Yeah.
For sure. Sounds good, my brothers. It's always good to talk to y'all, and I'll catch up with y'all next week.
All right, brother.
Peace.
All right, peace.
Peace out.
Yeah, Cain always bringing that energy at the back half of the show. I always need that, man.
Hell yeah, you know, yeah.
It's that pickup, man. We've been in this room.
We have a long one going right now. So the little energy pickup was needed, man.
We needed that.
Because I'm starting to feel a little bit of like I'm running off some fumes here.
I see you yawning over there, man. I know you're doing your dad duties too. So really quick, we got an ICU. Now, you know what? Skip the ICU segment. We already talked about it. I was going to talk about, the Niner fan calling us out, saying that the tide is shifting in the Bay. I already told you, your quarterback, not what you think it is. Your line, trash. You got no running back. Your defense is taped together. You still don't have any corners. Bruh, Sherman, he can't save you. We'll see you guys in the regular season. That's all I got to say about that.
I see you.
Synced it. Let's do some shout-outs, huh?
Shout-outs.
Got some shout-outs. All right. Shout-out Raider Mike Phineas. Shout-out to Boxing Kingdom. Shout out Boss Chick, Win Baby Win. Shout out to Method Ant, Matt Heil, David Dunn, Sam Bat. Shout out to Mojo Raider. That's the homie right there. Old Man Schilling, Leo Monkey. Shout out to Haley Latoyo, Jalen Davenport, DC4L Custom Tees, Rods Josh, Justin Treywick. Shout out to Kendra Stabler Moyes for a happy birthday. Celebrate your birthday, proud girl. Shout out to your boy Q, co-host of Unnecessary Roughness on ESPN Central Texas. That's 12 to 3 Monday through Fridays, and co-host of the Black Hole Banter podcast. We're trying to get you guys on air with us. Shout out to Ronald Rooney Sr., to Larry All Day, Alondra Pardo, Tony Rogers, Harry Kerr, Dead Pirate Sports Radio Southwest, Xavier63, and a very special shout out to Zach Scott's son Graham on his 7th birthday. Raise him right, Zach. Give us a call, Graham. Happy birthday, young buck. Also, I want to give a very special shout out to BGSU Hall of Fame fundraiser. They're on Twitter. They're doing a fundraiser. As you guys may very well know, Phil Villipiano was a alumni at BGSU, and they got a T-shirt out there. They got a blog link out there. But just go to their website. Let me pull it up for you guys. Make sure you cop this Foo Fighters shirt. It's Foo's Hall of Fame Fighters. You can find their website at bowlinggreenmemories.com and get yourself your little, I don't know what their color scheme is, like orange and brown or something, but it's not Raider colors, but it's got Phil's Foo Fighters on there, and he's a Raider great.
There you go, man.
So make sure you cop that. Really quick before I hand it over to Che, we're going to extend this shout-out segment a little bit. Shout out to Sean Graham, subscribing on YouTube, also subscribing. Brett Pasanek, New York Raider 88. Shout out to you guys. And we had some donations come through this week, so I want to give a shout-out to DK Pro Med. That's our boy. Friskies. Man, he's doing a lot to keep us funded, man. He donates regularly, and we really appreciate that, Friskies.
Thank you, Friskies.
I wish I was on the blog to chop it up with you more, but work keeps me away from there. I know you're on there late night, so maybe we'll chop it up late night. Thank you to Robert Chin for your donation. We really appreciate that. Got a couple more here before I turn it on over. We got a donation on this week also from Victor Lopez. We appreciate that, man. This money's going to go to something. We already got plans. Thank you again to Jason Arakaki. I think that's your name. I hope I'm getting that right because I really appreciate it. Again, shout out to Jalen Davenport. You also donated. You're actually, wow, Jalen Davenport became a monthly donator. He's going to be donating $5 a month to us. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
This is love that we never thought we'd experience on this podcast. We just got together to start talking and have fun. And
for the love of the Raiders, man.
And, man, you guys are help paying our subscription fee every month to get the content out to you. That's big because, like I said last week, I pay $75 a month just to put this show out.
Yeah.
We're not making any money. We haven't got that NFLshop.com check yet. I'm still waiting on that one. You know, we're looking at the tailgate broadcast this year, so some of this money is going to go to a power supply and possibly a hotspot. We're also looking at a brand new cam for the studio for the webcam and make this maybe a multicam experience or at least a wider angle, a little better resolution. All this money doesn't go in our pockets, man. We're not getting rich off of this. You might be thinking, oh, they're balling. Not all of these donations are big, man, but they add up. And it sits in the account, and it sits there, and we look at, hey, what do we need to do, you know, to make this better? And that's when we figure out what it is, we pull the trigger, and it's your funds that go towards making that happen. So I've come out of pocket for some things, but there's been donations in the past too that have really propped us up and helped us out, man. When the computer took a shit on me, I had that money right there to get the podcast back on track the next week. So turn it over to you, bud.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we appreciate all the donations, man. You guys are coming through in the clutch, man. That's what we're talking about when we talk about Raider family, man. That's how we do it, man. We love you guys. Shout outs to the IG fam, okay? Shout outs to Hip Hop Tenants. That's our boy EP, Eternal Pessimists band, the Bad Tenants, right? Go follow them on IG. Shout out to Radley77 and shout out to Raiders BRP. All right. Thank you guys for the follows. Not as many follows as last week, but of course we had a break. So they didn't build up as much.
Yeah, we did take a little break. That's right, we were off.
We were off the week before that.
Last, yeah.
Right.
I could use another break. I don't want to stop the momentum though. Maybe we'll take one right before training camp.
Right.
Because I guess before we get out of here, something I wanted to say. This is it, folks. This is the doldrums right here.
Yeah.
This is where it starts. The off-season doldrums, man. It's about to get real quiet. You had a lot of OTA updates. You were spoiled with, tons of press conferences. Check out Tom Cable's. That was a good one last week. Check out Gruden's. That was a good one if you haven't already. But it is going to get real quiet right here. Real quiet. There's 2 pieces of news we're waiting on, Bryant and Mac.
That's it. That's it. And basically, nothing else matters at this point, man.
That's it.
Basically, nothing else matters. We're just hoping and praying that gets done, right?
Yeah.
Gets resolved.
Everything's crossed over here. Fingers crossed, wires crossed, everything's crossed. Bro. My eyes are crossed from staring at this damn screen. Well, Juice just said his mom used to pinch him in church. My mom didn't go to church. That's how much of a badass she was. My mom would just slap me on sight no matter where. I'd get beat by my teacher. That was the time, right? You get home, like Cain said, you get beat by your mom for getting beat by the teacher. And then after catching a beating from your mom, she'd be like, you just wait till your dad gets home.
Right.
For what?
Right. You already got beat down multiple times,
I
man.
got my ass kicked already. And then, that was the move. I once saw my brother get thrown in the shower. They turned the water on him and beat the shit out of him. I was like, what? Why the shower? You got to be wet, too? That's just humiliating.
That's it, man. It's humiliation. The extra sting from the wetness, man.
Right.
Like, hey.
People ask me why I don't smoke, because when my brother got caught with chewing tobacco, they made him eat the can. And he was yakking up chew during dinner. I'm trying to eat my spaghetti. He's down the hall. Then he started smoking. He got caught with the cigarettes. They made him eat them bitches, too. You ever eat a cigarette?
No. I haven't. Don't want to either.
Just seeing somebody do it, bro.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
that's
I'm good.
horrible.
And my mom was a chain smoker. I'm like, don't you think this is a little bit hypocritical? Thank God my mom quit smoking. My dad quit really early, but my brother finally quit smoking.
That's awesome, man.
Like last year.
Yeah.
After all that.
Damn.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you that those punishments didn't quite work.
It didn't work, man. But yeah.
Maybe he just smoked it out of just held on to that grudge. Just for that, I'm gonna be a lifetime smoker, man. Just for that.
I'm glad my parents never caught me during my party days, because I might not have survived those eating sessions. You should have seen what I was already put in my face. I'm grateful to heaven above, whatever's out there, that time is over. I made it. I'm just a grown ass man now.
Man. That's funny, man. Hey,
yeah.
I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you on that.
Anyways, man, you ready to end this thing?
Yeah, just real quick. I just want to shout out my lady real quick.
Mm-hmm.
She of course celebrated me. My birthday, of course, like you said, was on Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say she might have outdid herself with the best gift ever, because it's the gift that's just gonna keep on giving. She went ahead and got me a home beer brewing kit.
Ooh.
So your boy's about to start getting into the business of crafting his own brews.
That
man.
JPA.
That JPA.
That IPJ. Oh, the IPJ.
So yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm gonna start looking up some recipes. I'm probably gonna start ordering some hops and stuff like that, man. Yeah, we'll have to bring it over here, man. Maybe we'll have that one for the drink tank one, man.
Yeah. I want to try that IPJ. That's what's up. Anyways, man, I'm hungry. Let's get out of here. Let's eat some cigarettes. And anyways, that's it for this week's show, folks. Tune in every week wherever podcasts are found. Make sure you download the app, available on iOS and Android. Call in and leave a message to be played on air anytime. 408-909-PJFF. Phone lines always open. Lastly, get dipped in pillaging gear. Head over to pj4f.com/shop. We're going to be sending out a free t-shirt out to England this week for the winner of the hashtag challenge.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm Kenny Stapler, joined as always
by your boy Chip.
We out here.
Peace.
Go Raiders.
Just when they